Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. We're doing Cheech and Chong, baby, because they got a new movie coming out. It's called The Last Movie. Of course, they've had movies like The Next Movie, Up in Smoke, of course. Dreams. What was the Dreams one? Uh,
Nice dreams.
Nice Dreams. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Of course, the Corsican Brothers, which I didn't care much for. Hey, Doug, what's up? And Yeah, the one thing I really loved, and I mentioned this to Eric earlier, because I always do review for every show we do, right? Some stuff doesn't take a lot of review from my point of view, but nevertheless, I do
Mhm.
review, and I got to go watch the movies again, the early stuff, right? Not the later stuff. And damn,
Mm.
it holds up, man. It holds up. That stuff is still hilarious, and that's like 70s, right?
70s and 80s.
Yeah,
I
late
probably
70s,
haven't
80s.
watched any since the 80s. I don't think.
They had some stuff later. They've done a bunch of stuff. They did like some stand-up stuff, and I'm actually looking forward to the this movie. It's a documentary talking about their life, and to be fair,
Mm.
it they deserve a documentary. We're going to talk about the Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong today, but these guys are, I would argue, American icons. Um,
I
now,
believe so.
Mm.
yeah. Now Cheech is more well known. He's done like 170 plus movies. He's got new movies coming out soon. I mean,
Nash Bridges.
Nashville. Oh, he was good in that. He was good in that.
Yeah.
But Cheech Marin is a really good, solid overall actor. Tommy, we didn't see as much of, but you got to understand, even though these guys started as a comedic duo doing stand up in L.A., and they became real popular, and they end up making a movie about it, and off it went. But they are not what they say. They are exactly what you think they are, meaning they weren't two actors playing a role. They were just two stoners from LA, right?
hmm
One being a
Yeah.
beaner, and the other one, I'm not really sure what breed of Labrador he is.
He's Canadian. I do know that.
Yeah, that was a joke,
Don't
though.
know what type of Canadian.
Well, the Labrador joke is he his dog ate his stash, you see, and he followed him around for 3 days to recollect it, and they were smoking it in the car. That is still the Up and Smoke, the original movie. There's so many other great scenes in other movies, but that original one where they meet, where Pedro, which is Cheech Marin's character, picks up the man. Keep in mind, in all that series and all those movies, Tommy Chong's never has a name. He's just the man, right? But he picks him
Yeah.
up on the side of the road hitchhiking with drums, a full drum set.
Mm.
Yeah. It was absolutely awesome. And like I said, it holds up amazingly so. And I thought I'd take a little bit of a minute here and talk about their career as we wait for other people to come in. Hi, Amy. How you doing?
Right. Doing all right. Sounds like you've had a pretty good week at least.
I
Getting to watch some
have.
movies, right?
I did, and it's definitely not something I would imagine being your type of thing. But to be fair, though, they're actually very cute.
Oh,
They're
that's
not
nice.
offensive in any way, other than the drugs.
Mm.
They're just bumbling, cute fools, really. I mean, would you agree with that,
Mm.
Eric?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They're
not.
not like cruel or vindictive
No, no,
or.
no. They're idiots. They're friendly. They're gentle. They're just goofballs. Neither one very smart. They just have drug problems. But even
No,
that's
open
not a
heart.
problem in
Mhm.
the movie. It's just but there's some amazing scenes, and of course there's some famous ones. But I thought I'd take a look now. Actually, the very first thing Cheech Marin showed up in was an anime, a short in
Mm.
1973.
Wow.
He did his stand up routine with Tommy for a long time, very popular out there, like I said. Then, of course, in 1978, he came out with Up in
Mhm.
Smoke, which is, ooh, I think it's still the best one. It's just so smooth because basically what they did is they get on stage and sometimes they'd have instruments, and they do little skits. They were skit comedians, right?
Okay.
hmm
Um, and uh, and they just it just really, if you can find some of their stand-up routine, you should take a look at it. They're actually hilarious. But they just kind of put that into a movie is all they did. They just took their skits and just put it in the movie. It's not doesn't ma- there's no plot really, right?
It's just like
Um,
a musical, musical bits.
they did some musical. Of course, they don't sing. They sing quite poorly, but that's the joke. And then after that
I
was the
guess
next
so.
movie, Nice Dreams, and of course, Cheech did something, stepped out on the side there, and did something with Elvira, which is kind of nice. And he did another movie as well, and then they still smoking. Of course, that one's pretty good too. That's the one with the weed truck, right? I mean, literally build a
Uh,
truck out of weed, isn't it?
oh yes, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Nice Dreams had the ice cream truck
yeah, yeah,
and Stacy Keach getting stoned.
yeah. No, that is true. Although that
What?
was Ajax, that wasn't real cocaine. But that scene with that girl snorting the Ajax is pretty funny. But still, one of the I love the opening scene though, where they first meet. That is hilarious. It just laugh, laugh. But the scene where, of course, a very famous scene where Cheech, is picking on Chong, or Pedro's picking on the man, for having his sister's piss because he's got to do a drug test, and he's kind of roughly driving to get it to spill on him. So the man, Chong, decides to play a joke, and his sister gave him some laundry powder, and he was acting like it was cocaine. And Cheech kind of stole a sniff because it's soap, right? It's not actually, cocaine. And of course he's panicking, and the Chong is laughing, but he also trying to help him out. So he drinks the piss, and then he's, oh my god, I'm gonna die, and then he does it again. Anyway, it's hilarious. A very famous scene. But nevertheless, so he then
Hmm.
did Yellowbeard. I actually liked that movie. Remember Yellowbeard?
I had forgotten about it, but yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
remember watching it back. It was back in the '80s when it
it
was on
was.
cable.
It
Everything
was.
was on cable like nonstop because it only had like 10 movies
Yeah.
for a month.
And of course, he just has a cameo in Cannonball Run. Cheech Marin. Then they did the Corsican Brothers, which I didn't care for. Anybody here like the Corsican Brothers?
Mm.
I
No.
think I might have actually seen that one in the theaters. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
like that
remember.
one. And then he did a bunch of music videos for the burgeoning MTV. Actually,
I thought they weren't musicians.
they
Or
no, they
were
are.
they?
They're comedy musicians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But at that time, MTV was just out. It was brand new.
Mhm.
They didn't have very much in the way of content. Therefore, a lot of
Mm.
things got repeated, and it made songs legendary famous that shouldn't have been. Yeah. But I'd say his biggest hit out of his MTV songs would have been "Born in East LA."
Which
Uh,
turned into a movie.
It did. It did. But of course, in movie, he has a famous song with Mexican Americans. The Beaner song. Am I allowed to say Beaner in the year 2025, Alan? He's muted. He's probably screaming at the mic right now.
Yari
I,
offended him.
I give you permission. I already talked to the federales.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. And then he did a whole bunch of normal stuff, Cheech did. Just a whole bunch of movies. He did some more music stuff, and just lots of movies. And I mean, like I said, his total filmography for Cheech Marin, and he's been in tons of stuff, is 175 films.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that is a lot. Is he like a character actor then?
He's great. Yeah, and he's
Plus the
wonderful.
series with
Hmm.
Don Johnson.
Hey, with that Nash Bridges, yeah, that was great. No, and he can play all kind of things. He started as a
Hmm.
stoner, a marijuana stoner. Um, but um, but yeah, no, he's very has quite a wide range actually.
I really
Now,
liked him in Tin Cup.
yeah, yeah, he's in a
He
ton
was
of
the
stuff
caddy
too.
for Costner. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he's also has his partner Tommy Chong, and Tommy has been in. Let me see here, 76 films, so 100 less. But you know, Tommy is well, he is the I don't know, he's the is he the straight man in that group? Kinda, huh?
Hard to say. I
Oh,
guess.
I guess he would have to.
I
Well,
guess he's kind of the straight man in a way, but not. It's a weird duo that you have going on here. But nevertheless, these guys have done a lot of stuff. They're beloved. I think most Americans know, at least have heard of Cheech and Chong. And today we're going to get into it, and we're going to honor these two dudes. So I don't have a Jeff here. Is there a reason?
Oh
he's going to
no.
be running late. He's doing something, so he said we might have to whistle for him. So for the sound effects,
Well,
where are the
hopefully he's
sound
alright.
effects?
Didn't get like
Sound
something wrong with
effects.
his car, not sick or anything.
Go.
How about we?
Thank you.
Woo!
It was good.
That does
My whistling was good though.
it. Cube. That's some loud whistling.
Well, actually, I'm a saxophone player, so it kind of comes with the trade.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah,
have to, go with it, right?
Yeah. No, the woodwinds are good whistlers. The interesting, the brass aren't necessarily, but the woodwinds are. I guess it's a different embouchure. But nevertheless, they have begun, and hopefully we'll have some more people come in. Cheech and Chong, of course, have their new movie they're calling The Last Movie, which is a documentary, which is, it's different. All the other stuff was, actual movies.
No, is
Um,
it actually a documentary or
it
is it a
is. No,
mockumentary?
it's probably, knowing those two, it's probably both. But
Okay.
at the end of last year, do keep in mind in Massachusetts, they actually had like a random meetup in Massachusetts. I think it was in near Salem. I can't remember, but and they opened up a dispensary for the day.
Oh, well, they have their own brand of
They do.
weed.
They
Yeah,
marijuana. Yeah.
and Tommy, he's had several head shops. I believe he's had a business for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, Tommy might be the richer one.
Oh, he might be. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite
Um,
possible.
Now, Tommy, I don't know much about Cheech's family so much, but Tommy, his daughter, is actually a movie person as well. Her name is Ray Dong Chong, right?
Hmm.
Oh, and Tommy is Irish, Scottish, and Chinese.
Yeah, no, that's that's where it all comes from. Although he just looks like he looks kind of German, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now his daughter, now he clearly married a black lady, um, and his daughter is an
Mhm.
absolute smoke show. Um, Gorgeous young lady, and she's been in a whole bunch of
Mhm.
movies. Let me see here, how many total? Wow, dude, 91. Holy
Wow,
cow,
almost as much
That's
as her dad.
more than her dad, actually, more. Yeah. Um,
Good for
I'm
him.
sure. I'm sure her godfather. No, because I'm sure she's close with Cheech, because they're like best
Oh,
buddies.
sure.
But she's been in a ton of stuff. She started out in the 70s. So Cheech had her. So she's older
Mhm.
than us, Eric.
no, is she?
Yes, she is.
Well, she might be.
Yeah, he had her before they got famous, dude. She was already acting
I've got
before.
his Wikipedia page up. Let me click.
Well, I'm
Oh,
looking at it right now. The
oh,
IMDb, dude. Her
yes.
first work, she was probably a kid, was The Whiz
Mhm.
Kids and the Mystery at Riverton, a TV movie in 1974.
Oh,
She's 64.
Wow,
the
she's
I
wish.
wouldn't have
a
guessed that.
decade, yeah, a decade older. But she's done a ton of movies, and like I said, that's interesting because we didn't really see her really hitting it until the 80s, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
and I remember, let's see here, yeah, Soul Man. I remember her in that. Commando, of course, you mentioned. Um, American Flyers. That's interesting. She did a bunch of like music video stuff. She did Color Purple, of course. Um, yeah, well, that was pretty rough. But yeah, she did a
Better
whole
for
bunch of
21
stuff.
Jump Street.
Yep, all kind of stuff. But the thing with her, I don't even know what she looked like now. But She was a beautiful woman, though. She is a beautiful woman. Really,
Really?
really, yeah, real pretty girl. Which is
Cool.
weird because her father's such a freak. But I think many of her dad's a real freak show. But he's not a pretty boy. But
Well, yeah.
yeah. But the interesting thing with it, she's one of those actresses that I always
Hmm.
mixed up with uh, the
Lisa Bonet?
Lisa
Oh,
Bonet and the Mario Van Peebles daughter, which I think
Better
he
than
had with
people's.
Lisa Bonet, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I always mixed her up, but
Hmm.
she's in a bunch of stuff. I remember seeing her all the time. She's just a character actor who shows up here or there. But even though she's done more stuff, she did not have
Are
the
you talking
impact.
about Ray Don Chong?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But she did
She's
not.
the star of Commando.
Well, no, but
Yes,
she
she is.
she
Don't say
didn't have
no. It's
the
true.
impact that her father had. That's for sure.
That's because you've never seen Commando. She flew the
I
plane,
I have seen
and she's
Commando.
the
Ooh.
stewardess.
That's right, and it's my friend's dead tired. Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner joke, but uh, of course that's also where we got Alyssa Milano, the actual terror
Mm-hmm.
that keeps giving us
No,
her
But
opinion.
she was normal when she was a kid.
Well,
my daughter.
you know the funny thing about that is, you and I were too old for the the Alyssa Milano crush, right? Um,
No, I was right in there because she's my age.
oh, really? For me, I was too old. My brother had a thing for Alyssa
Chester.
Milano.
Chester.
Yeah.
I named my daughter Alyssa after her.
Oh my God.
What?
And now I
Obsession.
feel horrible about it.
Yeah.
But
You should.
to be quite honest, she's my daughter's a little bit of a liberal nut too.
Ah, well, there you
I named
go.
my cat Samantha after her.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair
Hmm.
enough. Yeah.
Samantha, get off the couch.
But you might not know this, Amy. I don't know. You might be a bit too young, but Alyssa Milano for the
Mhm.
early 90 boys, the 1990, 1991, she was the TV crush of a lot of boys. A lot of boys.
Aw.
Debbie
Um,
What
Gibson.
show was she on?
Who's
Who's
the
the
boss?
boss?
Oh, okay.
And
And
then,
she was the model for the Little Mermaid.
oh, was
Yes.
she?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, un-
I mean, it wasn't voluntary. The animators just were perverted and wanted a teenager.
oh, I get it.
They just
Um,
borrowed it.
well, unfortunately, that's often true with Disney. But and then, of course, like so many Hollywood kid actors, she tried to break out of her kid role and do sexy stuff. But the problem
Mm.
is, she ain't sexy at all. Yeah, I mean that.
She could have been, but
Nah, dude, that was like bringing
yeah.
a hamster to a pit bull fight. It's not good.
Ooh, good
What?
God, it's
Poor
rough.
hamster.
That might work, though.
It might.
Well, it
You know
depends on
how
how
to stop an
savage the
aggressive
hamster
dog,
is.
right?
That's true. But nah, she
Mm-hmm.
just, some girls can do sexy and some can't. It's all right. She's a cute little thing, but she couldn't pull sexy off at all. Because when she was on, who's the boss, she was pretty young, right? What, 14 maybe?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I guess you say she was a bit older, but nevertheless, she was a cute kid. Just for
Mm-hmm.
high school kids would have a crush on her, right? But
Absolutely.
she
Mm-hmm.
didn't really grow into the body for doing the sexy stuff, but she tried. She
I have a
definitely did.
question.
Yeah.
Does that colonel that was the leader of the commandos die in Commando?
I know the lieutenant does.
The one that comes to warn him that, like, they're killing all of your guys, blah, blah, blah. The guy that causes all the trouble, because they never would have found Arnold's house if that guy hadn't gone there with all those helicopters.
Wasn't
Mm.
that wasn't that
I mean, if he wanted revenge against anyone, it should have been him.
but wasn't that like Jack Palance?
No, I don't know who it
No.
was.
Let me go check. I got it right here. I got her page open. So she does play the stewardess. Let's see here. Uh, Dan Hedaya. Yeah. Yeah,
No, he
Vernon
wasn't.
Wells, he played Bennett, who was lieutenant, and he definitely died. Chill out, Bennett.
No, Bennett was the evil man. Bennett!
Yes.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Major General Franklin Kirby.
Yeah, who was that?
That was James Olsen. James Olsen.
Like a guy that always plays dads on TV. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember if he died or not. I don't
He
recall.
should have.
He died in
There's any
2022 at
justice
age
in there, maybe?
91.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting that movie became as big a hit as it did because it's not very
Because it's terrible.
memorable. Yeah, it's not a memorable movie, but it became something for some reason. I don't know.
It's a cartoon.
It is. It is.
It's like the most cartoonish of all the action movies, I think.
Uh-oh. Her very first movie was Old Enough in 1984. Uh-oh. Alyssa Milano, I'm talking about. When did she do Charles and Charles? Where?
84. Oh, Charles. No, Who's the Boss? It was 84.
Who's the Boss? Yeah, 84. Yeah, it doesn't
So she had
even
to be
doesn't
what,
even
13?
doesn't even show this. It's weird. Why is that not on her list? Huh. That's weird, dude. It's not even showing up on her list. Who's the Boss?
Strange.
It is very strange.
And I would have thought that's what she's most known for.
Mm-hmm.
And wearing a crocheted mask during COVID, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even. Oh, here it is. Who's the Boss? TVC. Yeah, okay. It was further up, but it started in 84 to 92. It had a long run, dude. 6 years. I didn't know. 196 episodes. Damn. That was a popular show, man.
She was born 72. It started in 84. She was what?
Like 12?
13, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that sounds about right. She was like a young teenager. She was too young for me to pay attention to. I know this. But
She's only a year younger than me.
yeah, but
Yeah, Samantha Fox
yeah, I mean,
crowd.
she just kind of has a little boy body, right? That's probably why I didn't pay much attention to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, at that time, I don't know, I would have been like 14 dating a 12-year-old. That would have been weird. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
Crazy,
but
though,
being
the
a
Bobby
53-year-old
from
and
Charles in Charge.
dating a 51-year-old.
yeah, no, I understand it, but it just wasn't in my wheelhouse. She was too young. But my
no, I get
brother
it.
loved her. Yeah.
Chester was all about the Dana Plato.
No, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
all about the there was two at that age. One was the Christina Applegate. And the other one was that Thomas girl from Fall Guy. Oh God.
Heather
Oh, Heather
Thomas?
Thomas.
Heather
Yeah.
Thomas. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's just illegal shit.
What about
It's not
Barbeau
bad.
and Mod? Hmm?
No. Well, honestly, there is a Barbeau. You talk about the curly black hair lady, right? She actually
Yeah.
is.
Thank
She's not
you.
a bad
She was in
looking
Mod.
lady,
She
actually.
was in Mod. She was young. She was
Was she in
Vampire
Maud? I don't
Barbeau.
remember her in that. I remember her in
Yeah,
like
that was her
the.
breakout.
Was it? Because I remember her in The Fog.
I remember.
I just
Swamp.
remember in Swamp Thing where she's dressed like Weird Al.
Yeah, no, I remember that too.
And Creep Show.
And Creep Show, yeah. I mean, she's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of. She was one of those weirdly attractive, sexy ladies.
Yeah, attractive,
Yeah.
but not attractive at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, we know what it was. Come
It's
on.
that
We know.
hair. Because she has the Halloween fright wig.
It wasn't the hair.
It's the well, she has breasticles. That's true. But
It was what they
I mean,
showed off in
that's what she's
Total,
famous for, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, she like I mentioned with Alyssa Milano, who had no sexiness to her at all. Bridget Bardot who was not really super attractive. She just dripped with sexiness.
What? What?
A sex appeal.
Yeah, no, sex appeal. Yeah, very high. Very high. Why, you think Alyssa Milano was sexy? Yeah.
Well, when I was 12, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, sure, when you were a
You
little
mentioned the
kid.
blonde from Charlton Charge. I liked her more than Alyssa Milano.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the mom.
Nicole
Um,
Eggert.
but of course, that's a little bit older for me. I have to go back to Joni and Chachi for me.
Well, that was probably one of my early ones.
Beat
My
Chap.
earliest two were Catherine Bach
Oh yeah.
Hmm?
and
Okay.
Linda Carter.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Linda.
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
yeah.
Marvella.
No,
Linda Carter made me feel things I didn't know what they were.
yeah, for sure. 70s. Yeah.
Wholesome
The
kind of
shorts are
way.
tighter.
Mm. Which is probably one of the reasons I didn't like the Corsican Brothers, because it's much dumber than their others. Because a lot of their stuff's dumb, but it's also clever. Cheech and Chong, and the Corsican Brothers was just pure dumb.
Hmm.
And I think it was mainly an excuse to fondle breasticles. I think that was the
And it
main
was
reason.
their
Might
attempt
have
at the
been.
mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't hear. Say what you said again, Elrod.
It was like the attempt at going mainstream, so
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
didn't
It
fit them.
wasn't good, dude. It wasn't good. But I mean, when you were a young lass, Amy, who was the handsome hunk all the girls talked about in junior high and high school?
Hunk Rick
Oh.
Rock.
I mean, I was homeschooled, so I really don't know what other people were doing. I
Under-
liked animation and stuff, so I was more interested in studying art and writing.
Underprivileged. You see how she dodges questions, Eric? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was Leo and Brad Pitt.
No, I disagree. I think she's
Friends that are
definitely a
very close
Channing
to
Tatum
the
girl.
Sanders.
What was that?
Oh,
Oh, I've had friends that are that remind me of the girls, and I would peg them as a Hayden Christensen fan from Star Wars.
God,
really?
Hayden.
Because the
Awful.
Lester girls hate sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
It's
Sam.
everywhere.
You know, the thing is weird though.
Everywhere.
We're sitting here talking nostalgically about, beautiful young ladies from the past. Of course, are all old women now. But I can't
We're
name.
also old men now.
Yeah, well, we are. But I can't name any current ones. Even though I watch movies, but I can't name one. Who's
Well, the current trend is bug women.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, right?
Yeah, but she's
if I
kind
had
of
to pick
average
She's
someone,
the
though,
only
dude.
one that's not a bug woman.
I
I
She's
would
just
say Scarlett Johansson, but she's even in the 40s now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Scarlett's is she not even older than that?
yeah, she's in her. I think she just turned 40 actually.
Yeah, because she was in Ghost World. She was like, what, 17 or 18 in that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
That was 2000-ish.
Mm.
I can't think of any movies that come out in probably the past 10 years I would just go see because of the actor being in it.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Tom
I see.
Cruise.
I have a G in here. Hi, G.
It's me, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Yeah. Hey.
You did come back,
Oh,
or you got to
I
have fun
did.
today, dude. We're talking about weed and well, all kind of drugs, and
It's all
pretty
crazy.
girls and breasticles and.
Wait, I thought this was about Easter because you said it was all about grass.
No, next week.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's that plastic grass you put in the baskets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week is the Bible. This week is 420.
Well, next week we repent.
Mhm.
So,
For
but
celebrating
Mike did
Hitler's
his
birthday.
Jesus show this week.
We repent.
of course he did. Of course he did. He's always
This
okay, I
week
won't
is
say that.
Jesus. Next week is Jesus.
That's right. That's right. But like I said, with Cheech and Chong, they are American icons. They both have had great careers. Cheech certainly more. But Pedro and the man in their movies, they're completely gentle, harmless, fun-loving things. There's no offense from those movies, even though it's about drugs. So, and that's an accomplishment, I think, right? Because
Isn't
most of the drug movies we have are kind of offensive. Not that I don't like them, but they're kind of offensive. But Cheech and Chong are not.
yeah, this isn't Requiem for a Dream or anything.
Oh God, no.
That's going to be their newest movie where they discover crack cocaine.
Or even something like Ted, which was more fun-loving.
I found heroin. Let's
But
try it.
Ted had some heavy shit, man. Where Cheech and Chong never touched on that. For most of the time they're just doing little skits. The one girl who was I can't remember his name, the guy that played Strawberry, cousin Strawberry, Pedro's cousin. That actor, what's his name, dude? He's in a ton of stuff. He's a great actor. But in that movie, there's a scene where they're actually at Strawberry's house, and the cops are raiding with Stacy Keach. So which one was that? The next movie? Was that the next movie?
No, I think that's Up in Smoke.
Is that Up in Smoke? Is that the original?
I think it is, yeah.
Had Stacy Keach in it?
It does. Stacy Keach plays a cop
Wow.
in a
Was it him or
horrible,
his brother?
horrible outfit.
Seiko.
But I have to remember that guy's name. But anyway, the girl in that, the girl that snorts the Ajax lines, that girl is amazing. Amazing what she did here. Let me go see. Is it the original? I don't see Stacy listed in this one, and they're not showing a lot of picture. I think it was one of the other ones, dude.
Maybe.
Let me
Was
go.
it Nice Dreams? The one I remember where they have the ice cream van.
Yeah, that's Nice Dreams. No, this one, I'll check it. I'll check it. I think it's
Pee
the
Wee Herman
next
is in
movie.
all of them, right?
What do you say?
Isn't Pee Wee Herman in like all of them? It's like small parts.
He might be. He might
Yeah.
be.
Well, he ran with them in the comedy.
Yeah.
Him, Elvira, and Cheech and Chong all
Yeah.
were all part of
Yep.
like a comedy.
That's true.
Team.
And Cheech did a bunch of stuff with Elvira too, right?
Well, he was one of her writers, probably.
Maybe.
They're all friends. They're all like
Yeah.
groundlings, maybe. They're probably part of something like that.
Yeah, the
Oh.
foundlings or groundlings, one of the two.
Yeah. Now, Sandra Bernhard. Now that I see her face, I'm like, I remember her routine she did in it. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of the guys, the people who are in those movies, don't even have pictures on IMDb. How sad is that?
I guess you'd have to. I wonder if you'd be able to find a picture if you looked it up otherwise, but why would IMDb not have it?
Because they're not. They're very small part actors from LA at that time. I'm sure you could dig it out if you really went and hunted on it. Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it. The information on these movies is sparse, which is sad because, dude, I mean, because they had like 5 hits in a row, dude.
Tom Skerritt with Strawberry.
Tom Skerritt, there you go. That's right, Tom Skerritt. He played
Whoa.
him. Yeah, that he was great in that movie, dude. I forget which one it
The
was.
one was punched to death by the alien.
Yeah. And he shoots the mockingbird. That's hilarious. But let me see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They had 5 hits, one after the other, year after year. And they all did pretty well. I remember I've seen them all. And they're funny. I think Still Smoking is the weirdest one. They got a little weird in that. And of course we got the Corsican Brothers the next year, which I didn't care for. But then of course they did a whole bunch of albums. These guys hit, man. What'd you say?
Wow.
Which one was the one in the hotel? Was that Still Smoking? That the one that got really weird? That they're hallucinating?
Yeah, I think that's Still Smoking. Yeah, the one where they dress as women at the end. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Time to
There
go.
you go. Hey, Jeff.
Hello. All right.
Thundero
Now we
says,
can get
I
to
heard
John
like a
properly.
do when I was trying to
Thank you.
stop.
well, Thundero says, I need to
Thundero?
repent immediately. Okay, fine.
Hey, Thundero.
You really sort of do.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't need repention or repentance. That would be better. There you go.
Retention
I got.
sounds like a vitamin.
Well, technically, it follows grammatic law, so I state that it is a word. I make it official.
Okay,
I have license, literally, on the wall.
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. It
Yeah.
says official maker upper of tenses of words.
That's right. That's right.
There is
Nice.
grammatic law, and then there is English.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Can someone explain to me what the majority of ghetto Americans are speaking?
Ebonics?
Is that it?
Mm,
Well, that's what it used to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it ain't English. I know that.
No, they speak Old English, or that's what they drink. I forget.
Oh, that one or the other. Yeah.
45.
Now, all joking aside, when I was in the States long time ago, you would definitely have people who would fall into their cultural lingo, but they could revert back into standard American, flat American, instantly. Is this still true? Because I hear the education level in America has plummeted horribly.
yeah,
I would say no.
I hear that there's. I think I've heard about this one girl who graduated high school and she couldn't read. And she
Yeah,
graduated with honors.
yeah.
she's
No,
kind
I've
of
heard
like,
this too.
and so
Did she
she's
have
students.
It's not good. It's not good.
Did she have a scholarship for sport? Maybe.
Maybe.
She was, yeah.
I've heard people in a professional situation use the phrase "axe," like I'm going to axe you something instead of ask you something.
Oh yeah, no, I
I've
hear
heard
that a
as
lot.
well,
Axe.
yes.
No,
Yeah.
Well,
that drives me
seeing
insane.
seeing as we're talking about Mexican Americans here, with Cheech and Chong, particularly with Pedro, Cheech's character. Um, Now, I grew up, and a few of my cousins all married Dominicans, and I think one married a Puerto Rican. So I used to go over there because they're older than me quite a bit. But I go over and watch Julio Cesar Chavez boxing and a whole bunch of stuff with them. They were really friendly and nice, nice guys. And when I was sitting there and they're drinking their hooch and watching the boxing, everyone's having a great old time.
Drinking their hooch.
No, dude, they make good hooch, dude.
A bathtub gin for ya?
No, they
Yeah.
actually what they did was in their house they had like these giant glass. It's like a bottle, but it's gigantic. It sits in the corner of the room, and they just fill it full of fruits and let it rot. What is that called, Alan? You are
Oh,
a resident
sangria.
Latino expert.
Sangria?
Sangria.
Sangria.
Yeah, that's sangria.
All right.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, it's good shit. I know that. But that was really good. It's quite tasty. It was funny because those guys would fall into, not Spanish. I mean, sometimes you get some Spanish words, but it was like really pidgin Spanish English. But yet I would see them talk.
Spanglish.
Spanglish.
Yeah, Spanglish.
That's
But yet, when they went out and went to a greater family event, their English was, perfect American. They'd switch, right? I had a bunch of black friends that did that too. But these days, it seems like it's changed, is my point.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. False alarm.
Okay, good.
No.
False alarms.
Or is it?
Yeah. It was funny because I went and rewatched a couple of the movies. I rewatched Up in Smoke, and I think what was the Dreams one called?
Nice dreams.
Nice Dreams. Yeah, I watched those two. I completely forgot about the term beaner. I had completely forgot it was a thing. Because back in the day, we used to call each other all kind of
Doubt it.
racial slurs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
It wasn't reserved for a specific race. We just
No.
called everybody.
Oh yeah. We had all kind of stuff. Although they often
Elvira
call
was in one of the movies.
Elvira. What about Elvira?
Elvira was in the second movie. She was hostage.
Yeah, no, she was. And of course, like I said, Cheech has done stuff with her. Elvira is a very
What?
unique lady, dude. Even though there's a lot of
No.
makeup involved, she still looks good, dude. I don't know how that is. I mean, she's got to be
She
60
was a
something.
Playboy model.
She was always really pretty lady, but I mean,
Mhm.
she's 60 something, dude, and she's still beautiful.
She
And she
only
still looks
has
like her.
So I
She
just
has
found out
like
the pilot in The Matrix is Tommy Chong's kid.
Oh,
The guy who drove the sewer
one?
ship.
Really?
The black
Was it
guy?
first Matrix.
His name was
Tank?
Yeah, like the
Tank?
mixed guy. There was the
Tank.
black guy was Tank, and who was the other one?
Sherman?
The mixed
Oh,
guy.
okay, yeah. I
Is
know
his
which one you're
brother.
talking about.
Really?
The one
It
who
was
flew,
Abrams.
yeah, the one that flew the plane.
I didn't
That's that.
know.
His name is Chong.
I didn't know that.
I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Huh.
Marcus Chong.
Marcus Chong.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was the good looking dude.
Yeah, he was like the pretty boy.
The one that survives.
That
Yeah, the one who
definitely
lives, yeah.
was not in the apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Chong. His name was Tank. Marcus was Tank. The big
Was he
guy
Tank?
he's Tank.
So who was the big guy? Tiny.
No, it was something related to that. Let me go find out. See, APOC was the girl, right? Dozer.
That was the rap.
Dozer.
Dozer. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're completely different races, so I have no clue how they could be brothers. But anyway, but yeah, no.
Yeah, the apocalypse was tough, man.
Well, how
You
in the
talking-
hell did Tommy
Are you
Chong have
talking-
such pretty kids, dude? What the hell?
He had
Are
a
you
lot of
talk-
kids.
Are you guys talking Dozer the Dozerian?
No, but we
No.
could.
Right?
Let me go see how many kids he had.
Kill Dozer.
Because his wife must be really beautiful, because Tommy ain't very pretty.
I just noticed under Marcus Chong's siblings, it's a paragraph.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's
right,
it, part
Eric.
one.
He's got 6 kids.
He is from Alberta, Canada. Well, we'll forgive him. Or Edmonton, sorry. Edmonton, Alberta, sorry. Mother was Canadian of Scottish and Irish ancestry, and his father was a Chinese immigrant, of course. Let's see. As a youth, Tommy moved with his family to Calgary. Cowboy town. How did you become a stoner in a cowboy town?
Cowboy.
Huh. It's very interesting, but I want to see the family. Where's the family?
But his second wife is fairly attractive. I don't know about the first one that he was married for between 60 and 70.
Let me see.
Maxine
she's
Sneed.
Oh no, they only stayed married a year. That looks. No, wait. No, that's his current wife.
Wow. I didn't know this.
Shelby Chong is the current
The
wife.
American government went after Tommy Chong several times for marijuana-related events.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he in jail at one point?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Maxine Sneed, the older sister of drummer Floyd Sneed. Oh, okay. He had 2 daughters, Ray and Robbie. There,
Oh, she looks like an older version of Ray Don Chong.
which is not a bad thing. Then he married Shelby Fittis. Ooh. How in the hell does Tommy Chong get these absolutely gorgeous women? What the hell?
Money.
Maybe they like his sense of humor.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's a
he is
funny
pretty
guy.
funny. He is
He's a
pretty funny.
funny guy.
He is pretty funny. That's true.
Personality.
He beat cancer. Good for you, Tommy.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he got a bunch of kids. But even his second wife's a real pretty lady too, though. But alrighty. Well, there it is. But his kids, he's got pretty kids. That's for sure.
Well, sometimes having a distinctive face can be kind of interesting,
It can
especially
be.
if you want to be known.
Generation.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
And
look at that
sometimes
kid.
ugly people have pretty kids. It happens.
Yeah.
I would say he's ugly. He's not dashing handsome.
And Errol Flynn probably had ugly children.
Maybe.
It's just a lottery of genetics.
It might be. That's true.
But we've also only ever known Tommy Chong the way he looks, with like the big stoner beard and the hair and all that.
Mhm.
Well, that's all he's
Who's to
ever
say what's
You might
been.
underneath?
clean up nicely.
Yeah, but what's underneath, right? You don't know.
We've never seen it.
What's
Exactly. So
underneath is
what if
what
he's
counts.
secretly handsome?
Ah, I see what
If
you're
you
saying.
shave all that away, he's got good bone structure.
Yeah.
He's got good feet. Nice proportional features, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You never know.
Yeah, it's like those TikTok videos where they shave homeless people
Oh yeah.
and they're male models.
Yeah. 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 That is good. I don't know if I believe him, but you're right.
It's always like a male model that just
Yeah.
happened to fall on hard times and got a really long beard.
Yeah. But yeah, right. But I tell you though, if you can, those movies are great. They're basically their skits in movie form. But if you can find some of their stand up, these guys were absolute dynamite back in the day, dude.
Oh yeah.
Really good. Let's see
Well, that's how
here.
they got big, right?
Yes.
With their comedy albums.
Oh, they have a bunch of comedy albums. Actually, that's
Mhm.
one of the most famous skits from the albums. Is got to be "Where's Dave?" Right?
Well, yeah, Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not
Dave,
here,
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
man.
still
here,
quoted
man.
in movies everywhere.
What do you say?
That's still quoted even like out of context in movies.
Oh yeah, it's
right?
not even just
Every time
Dave.
you mention the name
It's
Dave,
like
it's always like,
they do a
Mhm.
Pedro version of it when he goes to Strawberry's house, right? But I'm just saying that album skit was very famous.
Oh yeah.
Everybody had it on cassette. I remember.
cassette tape.
Let's see here. Huh.
Oh yeah, Tommy Chong is totally Clark Kenting it with the beard, the hair, funny glasses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
From a family of Swedish models. He's just trying to.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Well, it looks like
He plays dumb in movies, but he is dumb.
Cheech has been married 3 times. They don't last very long.
Mm.
First one was 9 years.
mean-
Second one was what? That's a little bit longer, I guess. That's 10. Oh, that was like 25 years, and then he's been married to this new lady here since 2009. He's got 2 kids,
Isn't it
I
a
guess.
rarity, anyways, though, to find a comedian actor to be married for.
Well,
Yeah, that's very rare.
well, I think the thing with actors that's
Especially a comedian.
unfortunate for them is, you know, how do you if you marry someone before you become famous, fine, right? But after you're famous, it's got to be hard to find someone to be with, and I think that's why a lot of actors end up
Mhm.
marrying each other.
Well,
Mm.
because you don't trust anybody, right? You
Right.
don't know what they're after.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still true that there are
A life.
Hollywood executive people who think they can just order relationships and stuff around.
Some of that has
Oh yeah,
happened.
that
You're
used to
right.
be a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
There's also the schedule thing. I mean, you think like for us, we
Oh
don't think
yeah.
about it, but movies are, multi-year commitments, and you're away from home
Mhm.
and you're filming and doing stuff. And it's like professional athletes, but even to the extreme. So your spouse is at home, and how does somebody who isn't in the business understand turning it on, turning it off, coming
Right.
home, being gone for long periods of
Yeah.
time? That's
That's
Like
right.
driving the big rigs.
Yeah.
That's why, people, even like a Tom Brady, when he finally retires, the marriage falls apart. And,
Yeah,
it's,
but she was banging the yoga teacher, dude. Um,
yeah.
but which is weird. You have one of the most famous, legendary athletes on earth, right? It is insane that lady. But you could see with the way she talks, she thinks she could do way better, and she's going to be way more famous than he ever was. How long did that last?
Well, she
Yeah.
made more money than he did.
You think?
Oh, I know for a
Yeah,
fact. Yeah,
because she
absolutely.
got his money.
No, that's fair.
Her modeling money was considerably more than Tom's football money because he always took friendly deals for the team where he would renegotiate and kind of defer a lot of his money and stuff so that they could pay other free agents and things like that.
Yeah, good
And
guy, right?
right, and at home, he's like, well, my wife's super rich. I don't need as
Right.
much.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, she was considerably wealthier than he was.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
A
I know she's a
ridiculous
horrible
amount.
person. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Some magazine.
She is a German, yeah.
Oh well, there you go. There's a problem. But I also think another reason why these Hollywood people are constantly marrying and divorcing is you need in a relationship you need the effervescence and the stability, one of each,
Mm.
right? It's like parents. You can't have two strict parents or two soft parents. You need one of each for the kids to be raised properly, right? I think they run into that because they're all like these artiste types, and they just it implodes upon them, I think.
Stupid artists.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. I just didn't want to say it.
I
I
know.
think it was divorce in the old days where, people went in married to their teen sweetheart and then they got on a movie set and they met someone who was just like them.
Mm.
Well, yeah, maybe.
And that's like the first time in their life they ever met like a fellow artiste kind of thing.
Artist.
Maybe,
Right.
maybe, yeah,
It's true.
yeah. But it's also you have that the two different generations though, right? Because like Trump, everyone they like getting on about his three marriages, but he comes from that generation where they had to be married, right? For some
Mhm.
weird reason. And that they would, like Jesus, Elizabeth Taylor, I mean, what, 9 times was it?
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a lot.
Mickey Rooney numbers.
Yeah, but they're just that kind of people. They had to be married. The younger generation doesn't seem to be as obsessed with it.
Well, I think there was probably some of it was like public relations, right? So
Mm,
at a time in society and culture when you couldn't have a woman, I mean, you're talking about not that, so take Liz Taylor, the beginning of her career, she couldn't own a credit card herself, right? An
you think?
unmarried woman couldn't have a credit card. Yeah, yeah, that was, the
Mm-hmm.
she's old enough that, these were real things.
Can
There were
can
women
can we go back to that?
that there were, my grandmother never learned to drive a car. And so if you want the American culture to embrace you, you can't be a successful money making single woman. They're going to look at you and go, "Oh, she's a spinster, she's a this, she's a that."
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's
Back
fair enough.
then wouldn't work. Today we,
Yeah,
obviously think a little differently.
we do. That is true. But then you
Well,
have
except
other.
Chester. Chester doesn't.
Oh, dude, I've been married 30 years. But I've only married once. I was very particular. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
First
one.
one's for practice.
Yeah, no, I didn't need practice. I was very particular because I always
See,
had girls trying to tie me down. I was like, I need to be free. The wings are open.
Now you only got one woman tying you down.
I know, but I'm happy with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
good,
yeah,
woman. And of course, the joke I made
Mhm.
earlier doesn't even apply to me at all because she's better with money than I am.
She's a finance lady.
She is, and she's also Asian.
So
Yeah.
she can't
Mm.
drive.
She can't drive, but she's great
but
at
not
money.
well.
No comment,
Oh,
Eric.
say it. Is she in the room?
No, she's not in the room,
All
but
right. He knows it.
you hit too close to home, man. Now she's
Henry K told me it
okay.
was every woman, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, she's okay, but
It's not just Asian.
yeah, but I mean, there are some women who are great drivers, of course. But although they can never seem to win a race car race, I don't know what's up with that.
Anytime they borrow my car, there's a new scratch. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I know I had a brand new car. It was an Isuzu Rodeo, way back, and I was trying to get my wife and her American license, so we were practicing. And I said,
Mhm.
"Okay, very good," because it's a stick, and she's panicking because she doesn't like manual. And I was like, "All right, no
Sure.
problem. Let's go forward. You ready? Let's go." She hit the gas, and we went back into a parked car.
Ugh. Oh
Yes.
no! Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Plastic sitcom crook. Yes.
Yes. Luckily, the rodeo bumper was solid steel. Didn't do nothing to my car. Of
Oh.
course, the other car cannot say the same. But that's all right. I
Okay.
paid for it.
My wife
Did you
actually
eventually?
taught me how to drive stick shift. I
Really?
grew up with automatics and had no idea, and I wanted to buy
Oh.
a Jeep, and the only one
Mhm.
they had that I could afford was a 5-speed. And she was like, I was like, I can't drive that. And she tells the sales guy at the dealership, she goes, listen, if you let us take this vehicle for the weekend, you keep our car, the car we're trading in as collateral. Let us take
Mhm.
it for the weekend. If I can teach him how to drive standard in a weekend, we'll come
What?
back and we'll sign this on Monday.
Well, it
And they
probably
went,
took an
okay.
hour for you to learn how to do it,
Oh.
dude. 30 minutes. It didn't
I
take
gotta
you.
try that.
Yeah,
I
it
need a
wasn't
car.
hard.
No, it's intuitive, actually. It's kind of like people panic when they go to a country where they drive on the other side of the road. But actually,
Mhm.
the wheel is on the other side of the car. So when you do it, it's actually just as natural as your normal day to day. It's very intuitive. It takes no time to learn it at all.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Now, what is weird is driving a car that has the wrong hand drive in that country. That's a bit odd.
That would have to
Yeah.
be.
Well, I've done that over here a few times. I had they don't do it now, but I had a vet like a Gen 6 maybe. I think it was a Gen 6 or Gen 5. But I had a Corvette over here, and they now you can get a vet with right-hand drive, but at that time they only had left-hand drive. So it was a
Hmm.
left-hand drive, and I driving around here. It was weird because the yellow line is way over there,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And you have it up anyway. Hmm.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal, but that is odd. What I'm saying is, if you're in the normal vehicle for that country, it doesn't affect you at all. It's kind of weird how uneffectual it is.
It really does seem. Well,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
So don't be too worried about visiting other places.
No,
You'll get by okay.
not at all. Just make sure you get an international license, which basically is just a tax. I think in America it's
Oh,
like
oh,
30,
that
50
makes
bucks or
sense.
something like that. Everything's a tax, isn't it?
I guess that's true. So if you get an international license in America, that works other places? I guess that's what that would infer.
Yeah, the
Or,
international licenses are always put in English because that's the
oh,
international
okay.
language, right?
Sure.
Which is weird that in America you get an international license from English to English, but it is what it is. But
Mhm.
some countries you can just drive on your passport. Um,
Oh, okay.
Depends on where you are. Like when I first came to Japan, I just drove on my passport for I
Hmm.
don't know 6, 8 months or something like that. But
And then you got it out from under the car. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Well, I had to eventually because I helped my friend out. He has dynamite business, and I needed to get that license in Japanese, so I had to go do that.
Oh, dynamite
Um,
license.
yeah, the funny thing about the whole dynamite thing, I had to go
Hmm?
get I had to go get multiple licenses, not for driving. That was separate, but I had to get
Right.
multiple licenses. 'Cause Japanese are pedantic as hell, right? So I had to get a license for entering dynamite places that sell dynamite. I had to have a license just to go
Okay.
through a gate, right? Then
Okay.
I had to have a
License.
license to be able to use dynamite, which makes sense. And
Okay.
then I had to have another special license to transport dynamite. And then I had to have a special license for driving dynamite. So 4
Oh,
licenses.
wait, wouldn't transport enter facility and what was the third one?
Oh, you've never
Move?
met Japanese. You don't understand.
That's you could just make that one
You
license.
could. The whole country could be thinned down quite a bit, to be honest with you. But anyway, sitting in those, I had to go take tests with like these official government dynamite people, right? 3 separate time, well, 4 for their driving license. But these other guys it was funny because I'm sitting in the room, right? I'm at a desk by myself, by the way. It's not like I was in a room full of other dynamite license, attendees. It was
Licensee?
just me,
Okay.
yeah. And
Dynamite
With your
enthusiasts.
dynamite, I
enthusiast,
assume.
yeah. But I sat down and it was literally a tribunal. 3 dudes sitting in front of me, looking at me
Okay.
as if the world was about to end and it was my fault. Yeah.
Because of the dynamite?
Oh, they were very, very overly. Japanese are like that, but they were real serious about it. And of course, I had to take a written test, and they asked me a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
questions, and yada yada yada. I'd say it was probably a good 5 hours total for all those licenses involvement. But
Mm.
yeah, it was. Japanese don't play around with dynamite. I guess I don't blame them.
Well, yeah, you don't really want to make a wild turkey surprise and
Yeah,
blow
that's
stuff
true.
up.
Yeah, but I think I don't know, but I may well be the only non-Japanese person who holds this license outside of a
Really?
military contractor of some kind.
You're
Hmm.
saying they're a little jumpy about explosions?
A little, yeah,
Just
yeah.
fair enough.
I guess that would have to be
Mm.
kind of interesting. I mean, just as a point of saying, I
Well,
might be the only person from America and Japan who's licensed to have
I
a.
am making an assumption. I don't know that that's true, but I kind of feel
That's
very
you can't.
strongly it is true, because the only reason I got it was because there's only 2 major production dynamite production in Japan. One's in Kyushu, just a little bit south of me. The other one's in Honshu. There's only 2,
Mhm.
and my friend, who I keep in mind, I'm just helping out my friend, right?
Right.
But his family is like 1,000-year-old business, literally, right?
Wow.
And they, of course, are connected to the other family who runs the dynamite. And of course, he's
Mhm.
vouching for me, so that's a big deal. And my
Right.
father-in-law is, literally awarded by the emperor himself. So
Oh,
I have a
cool.
feeling those 2 things played a part in it. But for me, my friend, it was weird, because my friend
Mhm.
says, you drove a lot when you were younger. I said, oh yeah, I'm a taxi driver, and I used to drive tractor trailer and all kind of stuff. And
Sure.
he says, I need help with dynamite. I got some big stuff coming up, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then
Right
for
on.
me, it was just like, oh yeah, sure. And then I had to go through all that bullshit.
So for you, it was like a really casual thing. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he
it's
did
a
pay me
trek.
for
Okay,
my pain and efforts, though.
that's good.
Yeah, I guess he didn't have to actually.
Yeah. Well, you want to be good to your friends, so
That's
I
true.
can see.
That's
And
true.
you did. I mean, gosh, I guess the most bothersome thing about that probably was all the licenses.
It was, and of course, updating them is pretty simple, but certain other things are a pain in the butt, right? Because, and of course, it brings me a memory in one of the Cheech and Chong movies where they blew up a Mercedes. Yeah. But
Why
anyway,
did they do
um,
that?
do you realize that every week to transport dynamite in Japan, you have to go pay once again another tax, and you have
Oh,
to get a written permission from the government every single solitary week.
that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
And each
Now,
time you
all
do it, it's
joking
like
aside,
$300. What was that?
what was to say, all joking aside, but is this something that became a lot more regulated after World War II, I'm assuming?
None of the questions on the test related to that.
Okay. Well, obviously there were a lot of limitations as to the kinds of things that
Maybe.
Japan could and could not manufacture, produce, and
Sure. That's
the
true.
United States would have been very curious about all of a sudden, are you manufacturing a whole lot of explosives?
Yeah, no, it may well have been heavily regulated by the Americans. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. I know the test I took. They were depending on what the test was, but it involved regulations, which I just read the book, right? It's not that hard. And one test was mainly a chemistry test, which was a pain in the ass. I haven't taken a chemistry test since like freaking high school, right?
Right.
Uh, but whatever. I do know how to make bombs go boom.
Wait, that was necessary to learn how to move them?
Well, sure.
I feel like that's kind of like, why would you make it a goal to have more people figure out how to
Well,
use?
because sometimes we just deliver. Other times, like it's smaller stuff, we'll do the laying in, and
Oh, so sometimes you do the demolition work too?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Particularly with the quarries. There's like 3 little quarries, and you have to have a
Oh,
licensed person to do that, and there's only one dude. So if that one dude is over there and not over here, well, then who's going to do it? Well, you have 2
the guy
dudes
with the truck.
that
Okay.
with his business that can do it. So sometimes I even, he goes there, the other guy goes over there, and I go there.
I guess it all works out eventually.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, especially for that kind of stuff. Basically, you just take like a whole bunch of like 10 amphor sticks, and you put like a quarter stick, well, or a half stick of dynamite in there. Just wrap that sucker up, put a wire on it, drill a hole, put it in the rock. Maybe do that 10 times, and bring the whole wall
I don't
down.
know if
And
you could say all that on YouTube nowadays, Josh.
Why not?
run
You give
away!
instructions on how to blow things up.
Well, I didn't say how to make amphor or dynamite.
How do you do that?
Oh, okay. Well, um,
I'm glad you asked.
glad you asked. But it is
Thank you,
cool
sir.
to see
Lots
it.
Number
of
7 from Taco Bell.
It is cool to
Our
see a
glow in the dark
granite
friends would
a
like to
granite
know.
wall drop, though. It is pretty cool because it's not what you think. It's not a single stick of dynamite. What they do is they put a whole bunch of dynamite in different holes, and the cascading effect is what causes everything to come down. So you can't do it with
Oh,
one blast. You need to have multiple.
so it's more like a series of breaks rather than
It
just earth-shattering
literally is
kaboom.
sequenced. A matter of fact, the detonators are set up in such a way that they will have microsecond delays on them, and you'll set them up from like a sequence of 10 all the way down like to 0, right? So it's like
Hmm,
it's like that.
interesting.
Yeah, you got to be careful though, because if you drill out the hole and then you put the dynamite in too quickly,
Hmm.
drilling causes heat.
Ooh,
Yeah, I had a guy lose his leg
ooh.
here a couple of years ago from that.
Oh
Oh my god.
no.
Yeah, well, you gotta dynamite. Be patient. Take your time. It's
Yeah,
all
I
right.
guess
You guys call him?
so.
Is he called Stubby now?
I didn't even know him. I saw him, but yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty sad though because he was a young dude.
Is he all
Yeah.
right now?
Well,
Or was it his right leg he lost?
he lost the right leg. Yeah.
So he was left behind.
Oh God,
That's what you did there.
Oh,
I saw what you did there.
my
But I
goodness.
don't know the American system at all because I've never done this in America. But it's probably less pedant. I don't know.
No, it'd be just as bad because of that little thing called 9/11.
Oh yeah, or Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that didn't help either.
Yeah,
That actually didn't do much because people were still stealing fertilizer.
sure.
Because fertilizer literally is like in these silos out in the middle of nowhere, so you could just drive a
Mhm.
truck up to it and load it.
Sure.
Huh.
And then they
Actually,
would check it once a year and they're like, wait, all of our fertilizer's missing. It's a terrorist attack. And it's like, no, it's just people taking it for free.
Makes their
yeah.
gardens look nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, in Japan,
Yeah,
fertilizer
Prime
is only
McNally.
regulated over a certain amount of weight.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It
So
must
if
have
you,
been,
yeah,
I was going to say 3 or 4 years ago, we had a fertilizer plant explode here in Texas.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
not
Well, you
amazing.
just had a battery factory explode the other day.
Yeah,
Good.
there's stuff.
They
Things go.
just keep going
Of
and
course, that's a
going.
daily occurrence in China, though.
factories exploding?
Yes, I'm not even
Mhm.
joking. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, China's in bad
Well, that's
shape.
what happens when you have like zero regulation, right?
Well, a lot of it
Sometimes
is,
they're a good thing.
well, they haven't paid the employees like 6 months, 8 months, a year, and they
Mhm.
get disgruntled and they set things on fire.
Well,
Yeah, when they
yeah,
understand
that'll
them,
do it.
they get upset. So
Yep, yep, I get it. But yeah, I have no experience with dynamite in America other than like a quarter stick. We used to use quarter sticks, but I don't even know if you can buy it.
M80s.
Yeah, M80s. Can you even buy that anymore?
You can buy
I
it
really don't know.
as like dynamite, but not as fireworks anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, we used to love those things, man.
Too
You
many
could,
fingers lost.
well,
Like,
you could put a
maybe
tire on
not.
top of one of those, that sucker would fly.
Yeah. I mean, they were mainly before they were sold as fireworks, were sold, sold to like clear tree stumps and things like that,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Sure.
Was the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a quarter stick. That's all it is. And of course, dynamite these days is all white
You can
powder,
get them
right?
in
So it's
Mexico.
super stable. It's almost more akin to plastique than it is original dynamite, really.
Oh yeah, the original was like super unstable.
Yeah,
It was
no,
just
we have some of that too.
nitroglycerin.
We use some of the black powder for certain things because it burns more pure and more consistently. So we do have black powder. You know, the funny thing is, at his bunker, an undisclosed
Mhm.
location, um, he actually has all the ammunition for the local police departments.
Whose
Whose
bunker?
bunker?
My friend's dynamite bunker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um,
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, and a whole bunch of cop guns too. It's like I know the cops have little teeny like 22s or something on their belts, but if they ever actually need guns, they got to get in touch with him and go over there and then, of course getting into, I don't know if you guys have ever been into a dynamite bunker, but boy howdy, there's a lot of locks.
I bet. It sounds like that's something you'd want to keep under lock and key.
No, there's sequencing alarms and locks and all kind of crazy stuff. And then the big iron doors. It was always funny because in the summertime, well,
Mhm.
like now, like in the springtime, we always had to make sure they hit these because you got to really get at them. They're big iron doors, right? You'd always bang on them because the baby
Uh-huh.
snakes would get up into the edges of the
Oh
iron
no.
door. Yeah, you don't want to get bit by a baby snake.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, they don't control their poison. They just give it all to you.
Oh gosh. They're
Oh yeah.
poisonous snakes in Japan?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Generous.
Oh my
That and a
goodness.
sugar glider, you're doomed.
That's right. Sugar gliders are deadly.
I came home from the gym a couple weeks ago to a rattlesnake on my front porch.
Sweet.
Oh, sweet.
Did the
Yeah, dude.
sugar gliders get it?
What's that?
Did the sugar gliders get it? Or
The
they
sugar
Yeah, you
gliders
should
did
get
not
some
get
sugar
it.
gliders.
No.
They'll take care of snakes. It's the most poisonous animal on earth.
That's right. Sugar gliders are deadly. That's true.
Deadly.
How do they stack up
Rattlesnake's
against those
natural
rock bears,
predator,
though,
the
from
sugar
Australia?
glider.
Yeah.
It's like, look at me, I'm so cute. They can't resist.
Yeah. No, we have a smaller snake here. Well, it's kind of long but very thin. But it's fairly poisonous and they mainly hangs around in the rice paddies because it's hunting. So every year we lose a bunch of old ladies.
oh no.
Yeah.
To the snakes, or they just are like, I'm out of here.
They
Probably a
just
bit of both.
sink to the bottom.
They
Yeah.
have
Right.
Dr. Thunder in the soda machine. I'm out of here.
Oh, nice buddy. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I got hit, I'd probably be fine, right? Because I'm youngish, and hale. But if you're like, a lot of these ladies and the dudes too, although the dudes are usually running the machines, you got like 80-plus-year-old people working the fields every day,
Wow.
over here. It's crazy, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
but if
hale
they
and hard.
stop, they'll die.
What was that?
If they stop, they'll die. Work is the magic of living forever. It's just to always work.
Might
Never
well
stop.
be. Might well be. But we also lose a bunch every year just to heat because they don't want to modernize and put air conditioning in their houses. They want to live in the old way. But as you get older,
Oh,
heat becomes more of
that
an issue
makes you
for you.
sick.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Mm, poor things.
Yeah.
We
Actually,
we
her
lose more
mother,
people
who
in
is 80,
Texas every year.
86, I think.
Really? God bless her.
She's old, but she's like the person in charge of this area of the village of going around
Hmm?
and making sure that the old people aren't dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor thing.
Poor thing. Well,
I mean,
she's
Does she
very
go around with a cart like the Monty Python with the bell?
right.
Bring
Yeah.
out your dead.
She is super spry though. I mean, for her age, it's ridiculous. And she's
mm,
always been. She looks great. I remember when I
Well,
first
she's a
came.
vampire
Yeah,
living off
maybe
the
I
dead.
have to watch out. But a lot of dudes do this, and we don't mention it. But when we're going to marry a girl, we kind of want to get a look at mom to see the future. And and when I saw
Hmm.
her mom the first time, I
Or
was
dad.
like, or dad, yeah, but her mom was absolute smoke show, dude. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, you were trying to say something about Texas there, Jerry?
I would say, yeah. I mean, the heat. We have people. You get elderly people die if
Sure.
their air conditioning goes out, power goes out. They die from the heat. And
Yeah.
where I grew up in Vermont. You have at least 5 to 10 elderly people lose power in the winter and they freeze to death. It's that
Yeah,
kind of stuff
no,
happens
we had that
all over
problem.
every. You
Yeah.
don't think it would in Western society, but it does.
It most certainly does. Actually, I would say in many ways, Western society, particularly America, is less efficient overall than others. Really.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
with the conditioning?
the problem here is it's not that they don't have money for electricity or heating fuel. It's that their houses are like 150-year-old wooden houses and they have hardly any technology in them.
Mm,
They just live in that way. But yeah, no,
they
it
didn't.
does happen.
Yeah.
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 Didn't we have like a couple years ago a whole bunch of old people in Britain died, froze to death because they couldn't afford heating oil for their house?
Oh my
I
goodness.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hope
Taram.
there'd be something in place to keep that from happening, but
No, no, no,
mm,
no, no. Unfortunately, you've seen how our governments work.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep. That was a
not much
downer.
different from Scrooge back in the
Oh
day.
no,
Right.
they're just so bloated and unwieldy. They're just unbelievably, and then no one gives a shit is another problem. That is one thing I'll give Japan. They actually do take care of society. They seem to give a shit, oddly enough.
They actually do care of other people.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
go figure, right?
I saw an interview with it was a clip from a lady who'd been the prime minister
Hmm.
and in the UK, and she said she was I think about 50 days or so. She was there trying to get things taken care of, and she was so British. She was like, well, and she realized nothing could be done even from her position. She's like, people have been blaming it on the prime ministers, and she's like, nope, it's the system is so completely broken that even from here you can't get anything resolved. So she basically stepped down and I think started working on trying to correct some of the judicial systems, which
Are
is
you
where she, as far as she could tell, where the issues were starting. So
are
she
you
kind of went, okay,
are you talking about old past the buck Thatcher?
oh no, this is a newer lady. I think like in the
Oh, the lady
past,
who was prime minister for like 2 weeks.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
But there's been so many people who've been prime minister in the last few years. It's almost hard to keep track. But I
yeah.
thought it was an interesting interview.
Britain is badly broken. Yeah, unfortunately, Britain's
Yeah.
really badly broken. Yeah, that is
Although
what it is.
they finally did argue that a woman is a biological female,
Weird.
which is nice.
So J.K. Rowling's
Yeah.
finally won. Oh,
Yep.
now she could just be a hateful feminist and all happy and about it. Nice.
Well, at least it's some kind of grounds for girls
Sure,
to
run
feel
around.
like they've been hurt a bit, I guess. But
No, sure.
I
I'm
don't
kind of
know.
surprised the feminists didn't push back harder sooner, really,
Right?
because well,
Yeah,
the main target of all this seems to be them, right?
sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they lost all their American funding.
That's right. When Doge went through and
They
knocked out
the
those things,
fight
like,
when they had billions of dollars being funneled to them, but that's gone now.
That's true.
mm-hmm.
No, I'm telling you what, I really hope they really get this Doge thing 100%, but I'm 100% would love to Doge the entire planet. Imagine the
They did get
spectacle.
into Fort
Oh,
Knox, right?
yeah, they're like 4 or
And the
500
odd
tons
jobs
down,
body was
dude.
still there.
Yeah. We knew we knew that gold was missing already, dude. But
Yeah, everyone.
yeah.
I was more shocked there was any gold at all in there.
Well, and we don't even know if it wasn't that painted stuff they did last time. But yeah, no, that's yeah, you go study it. Gold in America. There's many documentaries on it. It's quite disgusting, actually.
On the Connery.
Did Geraldo Rivera open up the vault?
That would have brought more attention to it
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But yeah, all that nonsense, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you want to see rats jumping ship? Yeah, do a worldwide audit.
Dude, I would love it. Wouldn't it be an awesome spectacle? Wouldn't it be? It would be
It would be
so
amazing.
awesome, dude.
Just sit back and watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are some videos from some of the factories in like China that were talking about the labels for all the designer stuff, and they're like, "No, we make it. This is how much it costs," and they're charging you like $12,000 for a
Of
handbag or
course.
something like that.
Well, I
Wow.
mean, was anyone really surprised that all the Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, was anyone actually surprised it was made in China? I mean, I thought that was common
No.
knowledge.
I mean,
It's
I would.
Definitely.
made there.
Yeah. Why would they? Why wouldn't they? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I like in Japan, the only off the rack clothing I can buy is like Ralph Lauren. I'm not a Ralph Lauren guy, but it's like my own choice, and it all comes from Thailand. What was that, Elrod?
With the tariffs, where is Whole Foods going to get their supplies from? Because all the so-called organic food at Whole Foods came from China.
A lot of it's coming from
Really?
all over the world. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. That was revealed a few years ago, and they put out. It was kind of by mistake because they're like, "Oh, look at all the food that China wastes that they never send out," and it was all these giant trucks full of cabbages and all kinds of different produce and meats, and it was all marked for Whole Foods, and it all said like organic.
Right, of course.
Uh-oh.
And of course, with that same, of course, America has the same problem. But with that being said, the Chinese people are starving to death.
That can't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you got people in America who are starving to death, which is outrageous. How
Yeah.
many tons of
It's like
Mhm.
one in
crop
four.
do we burn every year?
Right? Do you really need the entire eastern seaboard to be covered
just
with
know that I'm
corn
breathing.
to make the gas go a little further? What are these people doing?
No, inefficiency. We don't have a resource-based economy is why. Someone was trying to say
Living
something.
on Cece's pizza.
Yeah. I had some good pizza the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What
really-
kind you get?
Well, the weird thing is
Mm.
there's very, very few places in Japan you get an actual good
Octopus
pizza.
and
But the actually only good pizza in Japan, other than a couple places, is at the supermarket.
Really?
Just in a bag, they're not frozen, but they're refrigerated pizza.
Bag pizza?
I know. It's weird. It shouldn't be the best, but it is the best.
You gotta unfold it and then put it on the pan
add
and you're good to
water.
go.
No, you just bake it in the oven. Just toast it up a bit. But the thing I was shocked though, we had Domino's come to Japan here a couple years ago, and they're already dead and gone. And I was like, oh, Domino's, because we have Pizza Hut, which isn't great, but I was like, man, you can eat it, right?
Right.
And Domino's, because I remember when I lived in
Here.
Hawaii, I'm from New England, so great pizzas like every mom and pop store everywhere. But when I was in Hawaii, the best pizza I could get was Domino's. And it was pretty good. And I was like, "Oh, cool, Domino's is coming. It'll be better pizza." My God, what the hell happened to Domino's, dude?
I
It's
don't know if
so
Domino's has ever been
I
good
mean,
pizza.
No,
it
they were the best I could get in Hawaii. They were much better than now. I don't know what happened to them, dude. It's really bad.
maybe it depends on who's managing it.
No, because I tried a couple
Nah,
different
it's terrible
ones,
here too.
and the Japanese are very pedantic about their job, no matter what it is, right? So that's not the
Mm.
problem. It's what's sent to them. I don't. It's just it's gone way downhill, way downhill.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh
We
well.
had a Domino's that opened up not too far from us, and I thought not really had Domino's before, so I tried it out, and I've liked what I've had. We have a little Caesars that's nearby, but it wasn't
Ooh.
managed very well, and so the stuff was always
Mm.
kind of dried out and horrible.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not
mm,
sure if I've ever had Little Caesars. It's either Little Caesars or Papa John's I've never tried. There is a great pizza place, though, about 3 hours north of me. It's a bit expensive, though. Would you like to
mhm.
guess how much it cost me for a medium pizza at this place?
$42.
Medium
Ooh,
pizza
you're so close. 54.
Okay.
for what? What's on
Those are
this
California
pizza?
price.
That's
$54
like
for a
Uber
medium
Eats.
pizza. It is really good, though. It's great pizza. The guy studied in Italy and everything.
Ah,
Mamma mia.
It's one of those posh restaurants, yeah.
oh, but you actually get what you pay for?
You do. It's actually on the one of my favorite hotels up there. It's on the ground floor of the Ritz Carlton.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's nice.
Oh, nothing like overpriced food that doesn't taste like anything.
No, well, it is way overpriced. I mean, you go there, you're spending 150, $200 a person, easy. But
For pizza.
it's all kind of Italian food. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it is good though, but it's way overpriced.
Mhm.
But it is what it
So,
is.
do you get to, yeah. How big is their medium? Do you get to take that home and have a couple slices when you get like the next day or?
It's like a standard, Pizza Hut medium.
Oh, okay.
They don't call it a
Right.
medium. I'm just referencing it for you because, you know what
Right.
that means.
So then you might be able to get a couple servings out of that.
Mhm. Oh, you know what I miss? And
Hmm?
Alpha kind of got my brain working on this. There were many places in the States we used to get garlic knots.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
those are really
sure.
good. Those are really
Tastes it
good.
so good.
Yeah, I love
It's
garlic knots.
bread with like garlic and butter and some oil or something like that, and it's so good.
hmm I'm pretty sure that Cheech and Chong would love them some garlic knots because they have the munchies a lot.
They're so good. And they're usually like one of the least expensive things you can get. So if you just want a little something else, or you're not feeling well, but you're out with some friends,
Oh
that can
yeah.
be a good thing to pick up.
No, bread's always good when you're not feeling great. Easy.
Oh.
Yeah. That is a thing. It's hard for me to get here is good Italian food though. Other than that place I just mentioned, but it's ridiculously overpriced. How about you, Jerry? You're down in Texas, so do you guys get any good Italian food down there, or are
No,
the
kills me.
Guidos illegal?
No, no. My wife is Italian,
Mm.
and we spent about almost 2 years in Southern Connecticut, and I would go
Oh yeah,
into Midtown
oh yeah,
Mhm.
at least once a week for business.
dude.
And you know, we moved to Texas, and you're like, you get all the Tex-Mex you want, all the barbecue you want.
Mm.
There's no Italian. And so every
Oh
time
wow.
there's we live in this town that's growing. It's one of the fastest growing towns in
Nothing more. I
Texas, if
love a
not
guy.
America. And every time we see a new restaurant starting to be built, we're like,
Maybe it's Italian?
maybe.
Maybe?
Nope, it's
No,
another,
yeah, that's too
it's
bad.
another taco
Yeah,
place,
but
or it's another, you're like,
yeah, of
kills
course
me.
you just hit it on the head though. New England has got the best Italian food, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely killer, man. Grinders and pizzas and, pretty good pastas and yeah, no. Oh, amazing.
There,
Calzone. Oh my goodness.
uh, Calzones are the best.
They are,
Mhm.
dude.
I have to make my own.
Yeah, I've
I
tried.
grew up
They
in an
kind of suck.
Italian town, and their Italian food was awful.
Really? Go to
It
New
was
England.
like everything tasted like
Yeah, head up
watered down
north,
ketchup.
up to the
Yeah.
northeast.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not in New York, in New England, there's all these New York transplants, right? So that's where you
Yeah.
go to like New
Yeah.
Hampshire, Connecticut. You
Mm.
find all these people. That's where my wife's her Nana and Tutto moved to New Hampshire
Right.
after they
Yeah.
moved out of New York.
But
And
the
so there's a lot of
tri-state,
little yeah,
the tri-state is
there's a
killer.
lot of Italian communities and stuff,
Yep,
and they do it right.
they do.
It's
Uh,
so good.
but like in my hometown, there's literally a freaking Italian cafe on every corner,
Yeah,
and thank
Nice.
God for them.
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, so good.
gelato.
Oh my God. The thing is, I lived in New York quite a while because, I was working, trying to be a musician. And, New York pizza is great. I agree. But I kind of think that New England is better.
I Yeah, I mean it's real similar. The only thing that New York claims, right, is the water makes it different or something, and I don't think so.
The
I
filth.
don't think so. Yeah.
I mean,
The
otherwise you're
bodies in
getting
the East River.
Better sewage.
Yeah. Don't get me
the thing
wrong.
is
New York pizza's great, dude.
it is really good. But the thing that you've got like with Vermont, we had is huge dairy,
Yeah,
huge dairy
that's true.
industry. So you have the most fresh, amazing cheese. Like it's incredible. And so that goes a long way into really, making your pizza
Sure.
excellent.
Sure.
I
That's
worked at this
cool, Dad.
place one time where it was a computer shop, and we were in this little town called Middlebury, Vermont. There's a
Hmm.
college there,
Mm.
but right across the street from us were two things. One was called Cabot Creamery. So Cabot Creamery makes Cabot cheese, and
Hmm.
which you can buy nationally. Cabot cheese is fantastic cheese. And then right next to Cabot cheese was a brewery.
Mm.
So right across the street from work, you had, you go, well, let's go get something to eat, and let's go get some beer. And
Yeah,
yeah,
with some
it was
cheese.
awesome. Long Trail Brewery, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now you see a lot of good stuff up there in New England. Actually, I used to have to go when I had to help my family on the boats. Right, go real early in the morning. Right, super early.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you, I driving by all the Italian restaurants, all the old Italian ladies are in the back making the mozzarella, and they do because the mozzarella is real quick. It doesn't take long to make. It's not like normal cheese. But I'm telling you,
Oh,
those old ladies are tough, 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 because that water that they make mozzarella in is hot, and those ladies
Yep.
don't even care, dude. Not even a little.
Those hands are fireproof.
They are, dude.
Like
Those old
those
Italian
old
ladies.
Italian ladies, they
Yeah,
don't. You go, you got any oven mitts? They're like, ha ha
yeah,
ha.
yeah, yeah. No, it's true.
Oh, sweet. They pinch your cheek. They just grab it.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Asbestos hands. Yeah.
And then what a lot of people don't know is in Italian families, you think like the mom cooks or the nonna cooks, the grandma cooks, whatever that they call it, the
right.
nonna. Um,
Oh,
except the pasta sauce. Your pasta sauce, your red sauce is not made by the women.
No.
That is made by the men.
Hmm.
And they gather together and they sit around and they drink and they smoke and they BS and they blah 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 while they slowly cook their pasta sauce all day.
Yep.
But that is something the women don't traditionally cook in Italian families.
Hmm. See, they don't know much about us Yankees. They have the wrong conception of us.
I know.
Yeah. Our food is better
that is
than theirs, though. But let them
And
let
we
them
also
let them keep
we
thinking that.
we ain't got no accents or nothing.
Nope.
No, well, I do have a. I did. It's gone now. I've lost it. I've been traveling 30 plus years. It's
Yeah, you don't have
completely
much of an
gone.
accent.
No, it's
I
gone. I used to have a
I
pretty
would
heavy accent though. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean I would suppose everybody has a manner of speaking, whether they're really aware of it or not. So
Well,
you might have something like an accent,
sure,
even if
but
you don't really think so.
most of us are raised by the TV, right? So
Mhm.
what we have is America is a Jewish country. We just don't realize it because we were raised by Jews on the
Okay.
TV in the movie theater. And
Theater.
that California Jew accent became the standard American sound, and we all speak that, is what happened. And then when we go out and around our uncles and aunties, they had the heavier accent, but I think my generation is probably the beginning of the end of that. Right, because
Yeah.
even with the Southern people, I don't see heavy accents. A lot of the black communities seem to insist on keeping the Southern drawl, but even the Southern drawl seems to be going away. So,
I have this story. I was flying home. I was flying back to Connecticut from Texas. So I'm
mhm,
flying on a flight with a coworker of mine from Austin, Texas, and we were talking about accents. And think she assumed, she was like, "Well, I thought you were from up north. I thought you'd sound like, somebody from Boston."
yeah,
And I said,
Boston.
"No, right, yeah." So where I'm from in Vermont, it's the middle of the state. We say things like mountain and mitten instead of mountain and mitten, and a few things like that, but it's not too bad. It's not like the main, you can't get down from here. You go down the road, you take a right down at the barn. That was Hans's place. And, well,
Right.
Hans has been there for about 40 years. Yeah, we didn't talk like that, but
Not that.
um,
Okay.
and then I was like, well, you're thinking Boston, and Boston is more like this, right? Boston is much more. It's very close to New York. It's very, and I said, in Boston, people would say something like Tom Brady is wicked awesome,
Yeah.
and the ladies laugh. She's like, that's so funny.
Yeah,
We
the
get up
Sam
on the
Adams
plane.
is like wicked.
Sam
That's
Adams
Wicked.
hilarious.
is
Sammy Adams.
It's wicked.
wicked.
It is wicked.
So we get up, and this lady in front of me stops, and she goes, "Excuse me, I'm from Boston, and I just want to say, we would never say Tom Brady is wicked awesome. We would say Tom Brady is a wicked pisser."
That is fair. No,
Mhm.
that is fair, dude. That is
Yep.
fair. She
And I was
was
like,
right.
fair
She's
enough.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is a wicked
The
pisser.
wicked pissa. Yeah. Especially I can't stand. I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I hate the listening to New England women speak. Oh, it's awful, dude. It gets under my
It-
skin, especially the ones from Cranston. Oh my
oh
God.
yeah.
Cranston, Pawtucket, Providence, South Boston. Oh my God. Whew. I'm going to get some more
Get it,
Well,
coffee.
Bob?
what are you doing for the summer? We're going to the vineyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
Although when that Jersey Shore show came on, I never paid much. No one pays attention to Jersey after all. But when that show came on, I found something worse though,
Yes.
because
Uh-oh.
my God, those girls, their accents are so insufferable. Jeff, you're in charge. I'm getting coffee.
You
Oh,
go
okay.
get coffee, and I'll be in charge.
You be in charge.
Jeff's in charge.
I'm in charge.
Everybody knows.
Jeff in
Yeah.
charge.
I highly
Sammy
recommend it.
Adams.
Sam Adams. Sam Adams is okay. There's other better local beers besides Sam Adams.
It's a wicked
But
pisser.
it's a wicked pisser. If if you get up to New England, if you want to travel and you go anywhere in New England, that Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, you do it in like early October. It's very nice.
We went
Hmm.
there
You'll have a
for
good time.
we went to Boston. Actually, it was Harvard, and
Have it.
for somebody's
Did you
wedding,
see it?
and it was New Year's Eve, and it was unbelievably cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
from Michigan.
That
Damn,
wind
Jeff, you're
off
from
of the
Michigan.
that wind off of the ocean just cuts through you like a knife.
Right. Yeah. It's the wind from the
November, it
shore.
rained
You
every
gotta
day.
watch out.
The Jersey Shore? Oh,
Jersey.
maybe not.
No.
Jersey.
No.
Jersey.
No,
Not
no.
the Jersey
Jersey.
Shore.
No one cares about Jersey. It
Oh, okay, so that's
smells.
not
It's from
Jersey
it's from the
stinks.
harbor.
It's the paper mills, man.
To Habba?
It's so much
Yeah.
Harbour.
It
Go on a
stinks.
duck
I
boat
can nail
tour of the
it.
harbour.
Drive by
Mm,
Yeah.
Gillette.
mm.
Drive
You
by
know,
Gillette Stadium. Yeah.
you know the
Yeah, I don't
funny
have
thing about accents, though. My father is one of those people that doesn't speak much. He's a pretty quiet dude, but he has a very serious Southern accent, right?
Oh, cool.
Because my dad's from deep South, my mom's from New England. But
Mm.
I don't think my wife has understood a single word that man's ever said.
Really?
That's why they get along.
She just smiles politely and nods her head.
Hmm.
Because I know her dumbfounded look, right?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I've seen that look on your face.
yeah, yeah. I just chuckle to myself and say nothing. But yeah, some of those accents do get a bit ridiculous. I think the British are worse than we are, though, when it comes to just
There are
Yeah.
deep
so many
accents.
Yeah.
accents.
Because it's not just the accent, it's the dialect, right?
Yeah.
Like that thing they do where they like shorten words. So,
Mhm.
or they
Isn't it?
do things like
Isn't
what's
it?
the famous phrase? Instead of saying
Mhm.
upstairs, they say up the apples and pears.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
that's Cockney.
That
Yeah,
yeah,
Apples and
yeah.
pears. Apples and
they
pears.
they just want to be annoying. It's the whole point. It's their
Oh.
intent. It is. But yeah,
So
it can be rough. It can be rough.
I read something about that one time that said that if we were alive, if we could go back and listen to early British colonists who were in the United States,
Hmm.
a lot of them had what we would consider to be a rough British accent. Like not Cockney necessarily, but definitely what you would think of as more London working class British accent today.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And
Hello, hello.
yeah, hello, hello, right. And then when the split happened, the British were like, well, we're obviously a lot better than them, right? They're savages out in the woods. So that was what created the adoption of the posh British accent that we know of today, but it really didn't exist before
Back
the
then.
American Revolution. So when you see things that are supposed to be like, historical, and you see kings and queens in England and they're using very regal, very posh accent, it actually wasn't the way people talked.
Well, you are very fortunate, sir. I am an actual certified philologist.
Which
Ah,
is so
Wow.
much better than Egyptologist.
You know.
Can of
Um,
worms open.
and the
Just about to say that.
the British accents have evolved at a much higher speed, a higher rate than American accents.
Brace for
So,
impact, guys.
well, no, the English the British speak today is radically different than just a few hundred years ago. Whereas in America, ours has changed at a much slower rate. In
yeah.
fact, if you want to know what the original standard British sounds like, go down and talk to a Southern man.
I was going to say it's like that island in Virginia, right? Where there's
Yeah,
only a
no,
few
it's
left that
it's
still speak it.
it's the standard Southern drawl. That's what the
Mhm.
poor
The
British man
Appalachian
sounded
drawl is
like.
the
Yep,
closest to it.
yep.
Hmm.
And we've kept it with very
The
little
Yinzers.
variation, and they haven't. You
The
can't even find it over there
Yinzers.
anymore.
Now, is that because our country geographically is so much bigger, so it's harder to mix and
Hmm.
match and start to mush it up compared to a smaller European country?
Well, um, well, really, what happened in regards to that was we had the Irish that were forced in slavery, of course, and the
Right.
indentureship. We had
That doesn't sound right, Chester.
sorry,
Oh.
and then of course after the 1812 attack by the British, they were really, really picking up because they couldn't dump slaves in America anymore, right? Which is what they were doing. They were trying to look. They felt they had too much people, and this is when they really started dumping in Australia, right?
The
Um,
criminals and stuff. Yeah.
well, some of
Right.
them were,
Mm.
most of them were just poor people. But
Right. Right.
they just
Right.
want to get rid of the riffraff, is what they were doing. But at the same time they were doing this, and people were just desperate to escape, you had a lot of people, particularly in London, because that's what they were trying to clean out, escaped there, and they came over and they started working down on the plantations down in the South. See, our
Hmm.
the idea that it was just slaves
Yeah.
working plantations is ridiculous. But a
Yeah.
lot of them came down,
That
and
doesn't sound right either, Chester. I mean, I
sorry.
listen to CNN all the time,
Oh,
and they
okay.
don't say that.
Well, we got a huge flood of these poor Londoners coming in and working down there, and that's really where the current Southern accent came from, was them. And of course, the if you listen to a more, well, I'll use the same word, posh Southern person, they don't
Mhm.
sound anything like that, do they?
No,
Right?
yeah.
They don't
Uh,
sound like Foghorn Leghorn.
no.
I say,
Oh,
And
Claire.
of
I'd
course,
say.
if you cross
Oh, my.
over the
Clarice.
bayou line, you start getting a lot more French inflection,
French.
right?
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, that's where it comes from. Oh, my water's boiling.
Well,
Since
Jeff,
this
you're in
man
charge.
roach-chested me and I
let's see
ate
if
his
you
liver with
I
some
already was in
You're in
charge.
charge again.
And then he came out. And then someone said, I heard something
I'm gonna have
about
to start
accents.
charging for this being in charge gig.
You
So
should.
I
it's
can't
Yeah.
even do anything. I just, you know,
maybe we could get some little video clips.
just like
I
being a
heard.
consultant.
All the responsibility, none of the power.
None of the
More
work
snacks?
either. By the way, my audiobook just dropped
Yes.
Oh,
on
congratulations.
Audible.
That's
On Audible.
Yeah, it only took
How?
3 months.
Nothing like fast turnaround. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
was nothing.
to Audible. So
Like
how does the process to get your book read? Do you get to pick? Do you get to interview the voiceover person?
read. First, I do a lot of begging. Oh, you mean audiobook?
The audiobook, yes. How do you like so when the audiobook is going to be recorded, do you get to choose the person or audition the person or do they just
You
go,
really
"Hey,
have
we got somebody."
you have to go find somebody and have them audition. First, I gotta ask. First, they gotta want to do it, and then they audition. And I just happened to stumble upon a fantastic guy, like right out the chute. So
That's
he
cool.
like nails my um writing style perfectly. So, and everybody loves those audiobooks. So
Yeah, I heard a
Mhm.
sample of that sometime somewhere. That guy is pretty good.
yeah, he's really good. He's like a middle tier actor in England.
Oh, there you go.
So people are telling me they actually know who he is, and I'm like, really?
Oh yeah, we Americans
Did
are.
he study at Harada?
Well, no, we Americans are suckers for the British actors, though, dude.
Well, there's just something about a fantasy book that, if especially in the old style, there's something about the American dialect that just doesn't fit. It's like
No.
it would be like having a Brit narrate a western.
But here's
It
the
just
thing, though.
doesn't fit.
What do they think, though? Because that's what we
Grab
think.
your sword and shield.
Well, I wonder what they think, though, because we think that. That is, you're 100% true. But for them, that's normal. I wonder how they feel about it, because we see it that way. If you're speaking with a British accent, it brings a certain amount of class to it, right?
Yeah, also sort of like an authority.
Yeah, yeah. And a coolness, right?
Yeah.
Unless
Oh,
it's
because like fantasy is always steeped in medievalism, so
That's
you
true.
just imagine
Right.
the stilted English.
Unless
Yeah,
it's a
like
woman
It's
speaking Cockney, and then oh my god.
but it's like
Hello.
I look at it this way.
Two minutes for rolling the high.
It's also like I said, having a Brit narrate a western.
Mm.
There's just something that would be missing out of that because it's
Glue,
like
glue.
it doesn't match the style and the environment.
I
And it's
saw that movie though. There is a movie that.
Criggly.
What movie is it that has a British guy as a cowboy?
Criggly.
Say it again.
Criggly down under. Criggly down under.
Oh, that's Tom Selleck. My God, don't get out of here.
Mr.
You're banned for
Criggly,
life.
are you a gunfighter?
yeah,
Harry
but that had the guy
Potter.
that had the
British
guy who
cowboy.
played
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
A-
it's
A-
Snape.
Very good.
Alan Rickman
Alan.
plays
You're
the bad
Alan
not
bad
Rickman,
one.
from
yeah.
Yeah.
But
You might be thinking of Dracula, but that was an American guy in England.
No,
but
there is a movie that has a British guy in the Old West, and I'm not thinking of Django Unchained because that has
Are
a
you
British
thinking
guy.
of
That's a German.
I was gonna go there. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
was it
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven?
Yeah, English Bob.
Yep.
Yeah,
English Bob.
that I wasn't thinking about that, but you are
Who
right.
was also in Harry Potter, right? Before he
Yeah,
died.
Yes, he was
that's
the
true.
original Dumbledore.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, honey, would you like a gummy bear?
You know
It
the
tastes like earwax.
you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't like all Tarantino movies because there are some that I do.
Have you seen Slow West?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it though. But
Mikhail
that's
Fassbender plays a Irish cowboy
not the one
helping a
with
Scottish kid
that's not
off
the
the
one with
frontier.
Mads
It's
Mikkelsen.
amazing. No, that's I can't remember the name of that, but I remember the oil.
Yeah, I've heard of Slow West though. I've heard it's pretty good. I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's probably the prettiest movie ever made.
But speaking of Django Unchained, have you guys seen the original Django?
Yeah,
It's
Franco
really
Nero.
yeah, it's a really good movie. I'm actually rather prefer it over Tarantino's
Oh yeah.
version. Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of people don't know he made a cameo in Tarantino's.
Did
Yep.
he? I didn't.
Yeah,
know
where
that.
Django's talking to the man at the bar, and he's like, "My name's Django. The D is silent," and the guy's like, "I know, because he is Django."
That's true. Well, he's the original Django. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
That's
What you guys
awesome.
think of Jamie Foxx being cast in that? I'm not a big fan of Jamie's.
When he keeps
No.
his mouth shut, he's not bad.
Yeah, I mean
It's just like a
he's a bit of a racist. Yeah, but I mean,
exploitation film.
what do you mean?
West, you know, it was an exploitation film set in the West, so it was like it was over because I got it. You know, I get what he was going for. He's
Oh
going
no,
for, like,
I'm not.
all
Shaq
right.
I'm
or
not angry
Shaq,
about the race swapping. That's not what I
not
meant.
Shaq,
What I meant was, do you like Jamie Foxx as an actor? Is what I meant. I don't care about the race swap in this case.
He can be good. Like
He's
it's like
good
the
as
script.
Ray.
Depends on what
It's
they're
like
putting in.
any actor; they're only good as what they're given.
That is fair.
There's
Yeah,
very
I'm
few
saying,
that
like-
rise above.
Like if the role was something a little serious, maybe not, but because it was what it was, I was okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
And he does like Little Joe from Bonanza.
He did. That's true. I think the only Jamie Foxx movie I actually enjoyed was the one with Tom Cruise as an assassin. Collateral.
I was
think?
about to say Collateral,
Oh,
where he's
Collateral,
the
He was
taxi
pretty good.
driver.
At
He was
that.
great in that.
Yeah.
No, Any Given Sunday.
Any given
Yep.
Sunday. Oh yeah, fair enough.
Terrible
enough.
movie, but he kind of stands out in it.
He does. So, what is everyone here's favorite Tarantino movie? Because everyone seems to have one.
Nope. Can't stand him.
Mine's obviously.
He's a hack.
Yeah,
like
I'm not a
Pulp
fan of
Fiction, obviously,
Tarantino
but-
either.
He's a hack. He just copies other people's stuff. It's plagiarism.
Well, yeah, but there were a couple of really good. The Kill Bill stuff was awful. But I remember a couple of things.
That seems to be what everybody loves, but I wasn't a fan of Kill Bill either.
I hated that.
Mine
That was
would be
awful. Yeah.
Pulp Fiction or The Hateful Eight. Those are my two favorites, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be Pulp Fiction just because of the cultural impact that it had at the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, it was a big movie.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's really good.
That's probably my choice, I think, actually. With the Brad Pitt one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that one was pretty good. Yeah, I like that one.
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I saw the war one, and I was like, "Oh, we should have went to see G.I. Joe. This is terrible."
CGI Joes.
No,
It was so long. It was, and every scene plays like 3 times in a row because he was clearly drunk when he wrote it, and they didn't edit anything. So every scene happens twice, and it's like, oh, this is so bad. And it was so funny because when we walked in, we're like, "Oh, look, G.I. Joe's playing. We should go see that." Ha ha ha. And then we were leaving, and there's these old guys in the bathroom, like, "Oh man, that Snake Eyes, he was great." And we're like, "We should have seen G.I. Joe."
Yep. Even
Man.
you.
Although I also liked Inglourious Bastards. That's another Brad Pitt one.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what I was talking about.
That's what
Yeah.
he's talking
Hated it.
about.
Yeah. Although From Dusk Till Dawn, I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Well, I
question.
thought
Do you
Robert
consider that a
Rodriguez.
Tarantino movie
It
or
has
is
a
it a
better
Rodriguez movie?
director. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fair. It is a Rodriguez movie. You're right.
better
He
director. All
well for
around.
that
Technically,
style, and it's a good mention and segue because it has Cheech Marin in it playing what 3 parts?
3 parts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Border Guard, Chet, and Carlos at the end, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember the names, but I
That's
remember that quote.
that's when I fell in love with Selma Hayek. That's when
Which
we all
quote?
fell in love with
The
Selma Hayek.
the titty twister
And I
quote?
can't
Or?
say. Yeah,
We
that one
got
because I can't say that in front of the girls.
Oh well, that's
Okay,
fine. Yeah.
I
all
wouldn't feel
the stuff
comfortable
that they've
doing that
got.
either.
That's fair. That's
They
fair.
would, girls, you would pray for my soul if I repeated what he said. So
Yes.
I'm not.
Inappropriate. But fun.
and the great Tom Savini was in that as well.
He was.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Sex
seeing
Machine.
Sabini in the most recent Terrifier. It was a nice little cameo.
Yeah, it's always nice just to see, like, oh, they appreciate the guy. Great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, special effects
Oh, I
master.
forgot
man.
about Death Proof.
The one with Kurt Russell.
yeah.
I didn't care
Yeah,
for
that was just comical. I like seeing Kurt Russell. So
It's true. He is lovable.
The original version isn't bad because it's short, but
yeah,
then when they released it
Yeah,
on video, they split it in half and extended it, and I was like, oh dear God, what have you done?
I've never
There was
been
a
a fan
reason
of
it was only
Reservoir
15
Dogs.
minutes long.
Do you like
Reservoir
Reservoir
Dogs
Dogs?
was good.
I
I've
don't.
never been a fan of it.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
I like it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Acting wise, I think it was real good.
It's got
They
some
had
good
a-
actors in it. That's for damn sure.
Oh, the
It gave
actors are
us
great.
Tim Roth.
I didn't see it for years, and then I finally watched it. And I was like, I saw it after I saw Pulp Fiction. I was like, I don't get it.
That was the first movie I saw where they mentioned comic books as like a reference.
Oh,
Interesting.
Because the boss,
I
the
mention
gruff
that
looking
all the
boss,
time.
like, he looks like Ben Grimm. They're like, what's a Ben Grimm? He's like, the Thing from the Fantastic Four, the rock guy.
Neat.
For a name, I always start going Tony Chong,
Tommy Chong.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
I guess this would have been
in
before.
Reservoir Dogs.
Tommy
Scene where
Chong's in Reservoir
The
Dogs?
big boss can't. No, there's a scene where the big boss can't remember a name.
Okay.
It became kind of iconic. There's a guy. It sounds really close to Tommy Chong, but it's
Oh,
not.
I see. It sounds like Tommy. I see. I am looking at your piece right now, and it's a Mexican Americans love education, so they go to night school and they take Spanish, and they get a B. Yeah.
True story.
True story. Yeah.
That makes me think I should have done Basketball Jones.
That's the first thing that Cheech Marin ever did, dude.
Yep. Basketball Jones.
Oops.
Well, Elrod, you only have one more movie to suffer through, so don't worry about Tarantino.
What do I have to suffer through now?
He's only got one more movie left to do, according to him.
Oh, yeah.
His actual directing, you mean?
Yeah.
10 and done, right? That's his plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Chester's in Japan. He can actually watch his movies with the whatchamacallit, director's commentary.
Huh.
Whatchamacallit?
You
You
can?
tease.
Yeah, they have the director's commentary on Tarantino movies in Japan, because in America they can't, because there's too many rights they have to pay, because his commentary just consists of, yeah, I got this from this movie, I got this from that movie, I got this from that movie.
He said,
Oh yeah,
well,
this is a scene I
technically,
copied from Blackula.
he calls it nostalgia.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call it.
Problem is, I saw too many bad movies growing up, so a Tarantino movie for me is like a rerun.
Yeah, well, I get it. He is not a likable dude. I understand, but I for some
He's probably
reason the
guilty of
Mexican
sin with
American, huh?
He does look like a
and
Frankenstein,
he's
though.
probably guilty of sin with all that what's the guy who used to
Oh
fund him?
yeah,
The Miramax guy?
he's a big
Probably
Weinstein boy.
Harvey
Yeah.
Weinstein.
Oh no, definitely, that's
yeah,
true.
he
Well,
probably
so's
did
Oprah.
feet stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But I really can't get the Mexican American song out of my head. Damn you, Alan.
Hell
Mexican
yeah.
Americans don't
See,
like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and
like
white
white
girls named
girls
Debbie
named Debbie.
too. Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chema and have a son-in-law named Jeff.
And name it, yeah.
Or something, yeah.
Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it really slow.
Pour some coffee.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not doing any justice to it. When Cheech does, it's hilarious. Because he sings so badly, perfectly.
The song, man. Beaner.
Beaners, the Beaner song, yeah. And he's
What
always
you
doing,
got, man? Beaners.
and he drives Tommy absolutely crazy with his horrible singing. It's funny. But the funny thing about with Cheech though is he's the funniest part of the whole shtick is when he does too many drugs and he starts panicking because he thinks he's going to die because he did too many drugs and Tommy trying to calm him down. Tommy's the man is the voice of reason is funny because he's not the
I
voice
know.
of reason.
I know this is a controversial opinion about Cheech and Chong, but I didn't like when they replaced Chong with Don Johnson.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. You had to kind of lean into it a little bit.
It was a weird direction to go. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they had a barracuda in
choice.
that movie and that TV show, though, dude. Come on now,
Yeah, the Barracuda was great.
barracuda.
It's an odd direction.
Yeah. Now, Cheech turned out to be quite versatile. Actually, he do a lot of
I
stuff.
think I think he always wanted to go, legit,
Yeah,
and
he did.
not always be tied to, the weed and the drug jokes and that he really wanted to branch out, and
Yeah.
so
Sure.
it's good that he was able to do it.
It is good. And of course, he's still that though, even today. He's not. He doesn't. He's never shied away from that side of himself, and I give him credit for that. But yeah, no, Cheech has been great. He's shown up in so many things. Although I've heard many Americans seem to mistake him for who's the Ron Jeremy, that guy.
Yeah, but that's why he shaved his mustache.
Yeah, no, maybe that might be why.
That's all he had to do was shave his mustache, and it's like, yeah, you can be anything.
Hey, Amy,
Didn't he have
is Melissa drawing today?
I don't know. Let me go check. She's been looking at the job. I know she likes to draw, but I don't know if she's been able to. I'll go check on her.
Okay.
wasn't Cheech Marin born with a cleft palate? Isn't that why he had a
Yes,
mustache
he
to
had
begin
cleft
with?
palate. Yep,
Yeah, no, he definitely has one. Yeah.
like the great Yasmin Bleeth.
Yasmin Bleeth had a cleft palate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Girls
What?
can look
Picked her
cute.
up nice.
Well, that sounds awful familiar. Yasmin Bleeth.
Baywatch, right?
She was the prettiest girl on Baywatch until
Brunette.
the pen crushed her face.
She had an
Her
accident.
nasal cavity collapsed
Ooh.
from doing too much news candy.
Oh, that's too bad. No, yeah, she
Yeah.
was a pretty girl. She was a pretty
I
girl.
found this one.
Now dude, she's done way too many drugs.
Mhm. Sad.
Yeah, drugs are bad for you, man. Drugs
You
are
know
for
what?
kids.
I mean, if I had to share the screen with the Hoff, I would probably be intimidated as well and fall into a dizzying hole of drugs and alcohol.
Fair enough.
Need a
But
little extra
And
courage.
in Satanism, probably
Yep.
Satanism as well.
Satanism, yeah, definitely Satanism. Yeah, but
The
this
influence of Pitt.
Davis Jr.
this young version of her though, she was a real pretty girl. She actually has kind of that girl next door look.
I believe she was on Nash Bridges as well.
She looks familiar. I've seen her. I definitely know her, and I never watched Baywatch, so it has to be from somewhere else.
Who was the Baywatch girl that was in the Steven Seagal?
Erica Leniak.
Yeah, the original blonde, right?
What's her name? Erica?
Erica
Leniak.
Yep.
Ellie Mae
she was,
Clampett from the
She's from
movie.
Playboy too.
Yeah.
She was
does not
before.
look-
Yeah.
Well, oh, Jeff, I found Lissa. She hasn't really had time to draw, so but she wants to say hi. I still want to say hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Everyone.
Just want to make sure.
Hi.
Hey.
Is that cute? I'm kind of streaming my phone right now, so I don't get to run into chat and see who's here and what everyone's up to, which is kind of a shame. But is the audio been decent? I know my computer's audio has been so weird. I was kind of hoping this might work better.
Your audio's great.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, no, it sounds really good.
Oh, there it is.
How much time do we have?
You have yourself 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Good gravy.
Minutes?
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah, I wasn't
0
gonna have
minutes?
enough time
Rod's
for
gonna
some more
get 3 more
pictures.
done.
He might want.
I just had to go down into the vault and dig out some more paper.
Oh my gosh.
I've never used this paper before, so I don't know.
Hopefully it's decent.
Yeah.
I came in late because of issues. I get more time, right?
Yep.
Here we go.
I tried, and I went on the Discord channel, and it kept saying there's nobody in the voice channel. There's nobody in the voice channel, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah, you got to go live. Oh, I see. I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. Or we can blame Jeff. We'll blame Jeff.
Because
Jeff's
Jeff's
the
in charge.
producer,
How
right?
about we
I
not
lost
blame
it.
Jeff?
I
I
lost
like
Yeah,
that idea.
let Jeff's fault.
Yeah, I recognize this Eleniak girl you're talking about from other movies. I didn't watch the Baywatch, but yeah, I always thought she was kind of a weird looking face girl.
Under
She
Siege?
was the
Drawing
she was the
mouth.
Pam
Under
Anderson before
Siege, yeah,
Pam
that's
Anderson.
where I know her from. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jerry.
She was the Pam Anderson before Pam Anderson from Baywatch.
Yep. She was the
Yeah.
original blonde.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And then
don't.
she did
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Under
Although
Siege.
she was pretty cute in Under Siege, though.
You might remember
She
her
was
from
pretty good as
E.T.
Ellie Mae Clampett.
Really?
What?
Oh, in the Beverly Hillbillies remake with what's his
Yeah,
name?
she
there?
wasn't
The
bad.
guy played the Ernest guy.
Dietrich Bader. Yeah, and Ernest.
James Barney?
Yeah,
yes,
he was.
Jim Varney.
Jim Barney.
He was Jed. Playing a bit.
Proud DeLorean owner. Jim Varney.
Really? You made it work?
I don't know, but there's a great picture of him wearing like a leather jacket and
Varney.
these knee-high boots like Han Solo, and he's
Varney.
sitting in a DeLorean.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
It's probably when he got his first Ernest check from doing all those commercials.
Yeah. Now, definitely, I only know her from that one movie. It's weird though, because she has a very Russian name, but she doesn't look Russian.
Yeah.
She's Canadian.
Just like Pam Anderson.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Wasn't
it's
she
all,
like Pam Anderson was like a Molson girl, right? Was that her start?
Something like that. I know she was like at a football game or something, and they discovered her because they showed her on the jumbotron, and someone was like, "Ah, look at that."
Canadian football, eh?
and
Yeah.
now Pam Anderson's all about
Like,
no
yeah, look
makeup.
at her, eh? She's beauty, eh?
Beauty, eh?
Let's get her numbers, put her in
For
commercials.
her
dude.
on full time.
Don't you know?
I
Don't you
miss
know?
Molson. Oh, I miss Molson.
Molson. I like Michelob.
Oh, I'm wrong about
Or-
Erica. She was born in California to Ukrainian and a German descendants.
Well, I told you it was Russian name.
No, the Third and Fourth Reich.
Molson and Labatt's, eh?
Wait, you can't get Molson in
Texas? Nope.
Texas?
Nope.
Is that like a Smoking the Bandit situation?
That would be awesome if it was, but I don't.
just
I don't
Do
know.
watched
I
that
need
the
to get
other
the
day.
Trans Am out of the garage and bring you some Molson?
Texas got
Oh my God,
Lone
that's
Star
awesome.
beer.
He's bound and
It's the only import Lone Star, which import at all.
You know, the thing is we used to have Molson up here in Michigan, and I don't recall ever seeing it in the cases anymore.
I never had Molson. When I was in America in New England, I only drank either Michelob or Sam Adams.
I don't
Damn
drink,
it.
so the only beer I know are like the empty dead soldiers I see on the street.
Fair enough.
Well, we were right by the border, so Canadian beer was good because it was a little bit cheaper and it had a higher alcohol content.
That's true. It was a little bit
You could get
easier
the
for you. I
Elsinore
had to
beer.
take a bit of a ride to get to Canada.
We were about 45 minutes from the border.
Yeah, I used to go to Oakleaf all the time though.
Kima's okay. Like, oh, Canadian beer. Kima's sorry.
Well, I told you a story. I made a stupid American mistake when I was in Canada when I was a kid. I was at a party drinking beer, and I wanted to be cool, as you do. And of course, I wanted to crush the can on my head because, as you do. But the Canadian cans
You've
are
had too many
different.
beers.
Yep.
They're
Mhm.
steel and not aluminum.
Yeah, I didn't they didn't see me sweat though, but I was wincing inside for all night.
Oh
Oh,
no.
that hurt like hell. Yeah, it was bad.
So
Dr.
don't-
Pepper
don't
also
be-
used steel cans instead of aluminum.
Did they?
Really?
We knocked out a kid that way because they're like, yes, crush this on your head. And we hand him Pepsi can, a big K Cola can. Then someone handed him a Dr. Pepper. And he's like, bonk on the floor. Yeah.
Although
Oh no.
when I was a kid, we used to do the shotgun the beer, right? Where you put a hole in, you pop the tab, and the beer just shoots down your throat real quick. Stupid kid stuff. But
Right.
the Canadian cans, it works a lot better. So
They want to hurt you.
no, it's just that little. It's a maneuver. You're going to pop the tab and pop a hole at the same time, and
Mhm.
by popping the tab and hitting a hole, what you're doing is creating a vacuum, and it just dumps the beer right down your throat. It's like you girls ever have a funnel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
funnel
when
cake.
I'm making like coffee or something like that, and I want to put it in the my little thermos, like iced coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you try and pour that into one of those little bitty thermoses, it's gonna go all over the darn place.
Mm-hmm. It's not what I meant.
So Molson basically is a Smoking the Bandit situation. It's owned by Coors.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go. It is. Yeah. Go get you
I
some
love
Coors.
Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah, it's a great movie, dude. Jackie Gleason. It's probably his last great thing he did.
I don't know. He did part 3. Smokey is the Bandit.
Oh,
Smoking.
that was so bad.
Was it?
The Unseen movie.
I
Yeah,
didn't
they
know
actually
there was
filmed
a
it
3.
twice. They filmed Smokey is the Bandit part 3, where he plays the bandit and the sheriff.
What? Are you sure? I thought the third one was where Iceman right?
It is.
Or
They
Snowman.
redid the whole movie because I guess they did tests. I mean, I don't even know if they got to test screenings, but when you can watch the trailer. It's called Smokey is the Bandit.
Wow.
And the trailer tested so poorly that people are like, no,
No,
not having it.
no.
Wow.
Interesting.
And people said no.
Well, it's like that
And they listened.
new Robert De Niro movie where he's playing the father and the son.
Both of them are 88 years old.
Yeah.
Just different wigs.
Talk about burning every damn bridge you ever built, though. That guy.
Right.
Unbelievable.
You know,
man.
he did the toy after Smokey and the Bandit, so I don't know. That's a toss-up.
Uh-oh.
Yep, the toy.
That's right.
It's my
That toy
favorite
was good.
pro-slavery movie.
It's all about. It is a slave movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. They even make that joke in the movie, right? Like when
Sure.
he's telling his friends what he's doing, and they're like, that's kind of weird.
But he learned a life lesson from a black man.
Spider-Man costume.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. It's so inappropriate for. I probably saw that when I was like 10.
Yeah, but when we were kids, though, those things had no meaning because no one cared. Now they all of a sudden, because Obama told us we need to care about race. No one cared when we were kids, dude.
Well, no, not so much the race stuff, but like the wife, the trophy wife with the big fake boobs. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I get your point. Yeah. Well, the whole thing was about objectification, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we grew up with Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Cosby Show. We grew up with lots of black people in front of us, Asian peoples, Latinos. No one cared, man.
White people, black people, yellow people.
Sure, man.
I mean, I guess he
Time.
needed a trophy wife, right? Because the kid was like 8 years old, so it wouldn't have made sense that Jackie Gleason had an 8-year-old
Yeah.
Right.
if he was married to a woman his own age.
I remember Chico.
Unless it was like Step Brothers, where the kid is like 40.
Chico and the Man.
Chico and the Man. I remember that one. I remember
Oh.
Welcome Back, Carter. I love that show.
Welcome back on.
Yeah, the horse with the what do they call that
Up
that
your
group?
nose with the rubber
The Sweat
hose.
Hogs
The Sweat
Sweat
Hogs.
Hogs,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Sweat Hogs, man.
with
Vinny
Epstein,
Barbarino.
Epstein, the Dominican Jew
Puerto Rican Jew.
or
Yeah.
Puerto Rican Jew. Yeah.
Puerto
I
Rican
got a
Jew.
note from. I got a note from my mother.
Yeah. That was
And
such
it
a
was
good
always
show,
signed
dude.
Epstein's mother.
Yeah, Epstein's
Yeah.
mother. Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds you of Klinger, right? And his notes from home, his letters from home. Yeah, it was good stuff back then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a TV show that I've enjoyed in quite a while.
Did you like when Cotter left the show and his wife became the teacher?
Absolutely not.
They jumped the shark
And the
with
kids
that.
were all like, and the
Totally
Sweat Hogs were all like 45 at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only
and
one.
they had their own their own Ted McGinley, because they got the goofy white guy to replace Barbarino.
Well, the only one that went on to a real career was John Travolta, right?
Horseshack. Horseshack. He was in. Yeah, he was in one of the Friday the 13th movies. I don't think Travolta can say that.
I think the guy who played Horseshack, he ended up being a politician.
Did he?
I believe so.
No, you're thinking of Anthony Weiner.
Now, I know I'm wrong, but Cotter's wife. I'm confusing in my head with Bailey from WKRP
Yes,
in
you are.
Cincinnati.
Glasses.
Because I met
I get it.
Cotter's wife.
Very similar though.
Cotter's
Yeah.
wife was the wife from what was the movie with Rick Moranis? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember
I
I had
met
a
her.
wicked crush on Bailey, though, dude.
Well, I met her like at Disney World when I was a little kid, because she was there with her family. She was making some kind of appearance.
Aw.
And, I was like, oh my gosh, Bailey.
Aw.
Yeah,
Cute.
And
Bailey
she
is
didn't get
great,
mad.
man.
She was like, I get that all the time.
I sing the theme song to WKRP to my daughter sometimes, and she
It's a,
just looks at me. She's like, "Dad, what are you doing?"
dude, it's a great theme song.
It's great.
It
You
is
can
And
great.
find them on YouTube.
every year at Thanksgiving, somebody posts the meme about letting the turkeys go
Yep.
out of the helicopter.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That's a
Les
good song.
Nessman,
Les
farm
Nessman.
news, agricultural news. Yeah. You know, there's another one I'm not allowed to like, but I secretly do. Was the Facts of Life theme song?
It's a good song.
Yeah, I
You
like
take
that
the good
one.
and you take the bad.
You do.
Take them both.
Yeah. And for some reason, the one I liked was the tomboy girl, which I'm not
Joe.
sure if she was a tomboy.
Joe.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
What's she's God, Nancy McKeon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like Tootie.
Her brother was the son from Alice.
Tootie was cute.
Oh yeah.
Alice, that was another good show, man. Oh, we're having a nostalgia day today.
Hmm.
That's what happens when you bring out Cheech and Chong.
Well,
That's
Alice
fair.
had to be your favorite because it had like jazzy music as a theme song.
It did. Yeah. But I loved Alice. That
Oh.
was a good show, dude. And
Yeah,
I
good
actually
theme songs.
saw the movie Kiss My Grits. Thank you very much.
Oh.
There's a movie called Kiss My Grits.
At the drive-in theater, and it was completely inappropriate for my age.
Was that like
It had Flo.
the
Flo was
spin-off
in it.
for Flo?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
it was a raunchy R-rated movie with Flo. Same character, playing the same. That
And
actors.
Alice was what, a remake of a movie, right? Like
It-
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore with Diane Lane
Yeah.
or Diane Ladd.
I don't know, but I did like the show because Mel was the best, though.
Well, I don't know anyone who didn't call that show Mel's Diner.
Well, I mean, it
I spent
basically
half
it
of my
was
life thinking that was the name of the show.
for those of you who don't know, Alice was basically a sitcom set in a greasy spoon diner.
Oh,
There's a new girl in town and she's feeling good.
There was some good stuff back in those days.
You do know that I kazooed, right?
I know you did, Kazoo.
I
We were
did
nostalgia
kazoo.
laden. All right, here we go.
And then I blew
Banjo
an air horn to
kazoo.
remind them.
He did. Let me go over here and take a look. And of course, we're doing Cheech and Chong Day. Now, Amy, I'm not really 100% sure if she understood the mission.
Cheech and Chong.
Could you back that up for me a little bit?
It's Chica and Huang.
Yeah. I just can't see the whole thing. So.
Oh, do I need to rotate my phone? Or
No, you need to zoom out.
zoom out?
Yes, please.
All we can see is one of the faces and only just the eyes.
Okay. Is there any way I can tell what you guys are seeing?
Sure. You can look at the YouTube.
How do I turn it around?
All we see is layer 11. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Okay. This is
I have
not
no
at
idea
all
what you
what we
guys
were
are
looking
seeing.
at. So she was frozen is what it was. Okay, now
Oh.
go ahead and put it back in landscape. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You were frozen. It happens to you sometimes. Yeah, and now, yeah,
Oh.
there you go. There you go. Okay, cool. All
There
right.
you go.
Well, actually, this is not at all what I've been watching for a while because you were frozen.
Oh.
And are these Asian characters? Have you somehow mixed up Asians and Mexicans?
It's Chica and Huang. So it's Chica
Chico and the
from
Man.
No, it's
and
definitely not that.
he's got pizza, and she wants it, so she got pizza.
Oh, fair. She does have
Mhm.
pizza. Where are these characters from?
Chica is from Five Nights at Freddy's,
Oh,
and Huang is from I think one of the Soul Calibur games.
fair. Yeah, so I was right. It's definitely replacing Mexicans for Asians. Yeah.
The great replacement.
The great replacement. Yeah, Juan. But very good. Well, Jeff, would you like to comment on the pizza eating that is going on here?
I want pizza.
What am I looking at?
I'm confused as well. But
Looking at a party, pizza
Yeah.
party.
Pizza party.
I do like me some pizza as well.
Party. Hey,
Hmm.
look
We're looking
cute,
at
look
Amy's,
real
right?
big.
I
Pizza
had pi-
party.
I
That's
had
me.
pizza last night. I told you that, right?
Oh, that's
That's right.
pizza.
Yeah.
Really
I see the
expensive
pizza now.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's cheap. Five Nights at Freddy's is technically an American game. We
Yeah,
still make a
well,
few.
yeah, that's true. And you do live in an area that most of the foreigners you see are probably Greeks.
Think
So,
so?
yeah, I think there's a lot of Greeks down around you. Yeah, a lot of them.
Could be. We have people from all over. Well, a lot of tourists, you know.
It's true. It's true. Are there any Mexicans in Florida, or are they just all Cubans?
I suppose we have people from all over.
They are
Do they
quite
make
different,
tacos?
you
Or
know,
do
the
they make
Mexicans
sandwiches?
and the Cubans. They're quite different.
I dare say.
I have the
Let me
powers of
think.
both.
You do.
He makes tacos and sandwiches.
hmm
Woohoo!
Well, the
That's a poop
Cubano is
joke.
an amazing sandwich. Let's just be fair.
That's all right.
It is one of the best. It's like top 5 sandwich all time, man. But anyway, thank you
Nice.
very much, Amy. If you guys like what Amy's done, please vote for her in the straw poll. Now let me go see if I can find some actual Cheech and Chong. All right, here we go. I have Eric has done a scene from the movie with, of course, the ice cream truck, and Cheech and Chong really enjoy having vehicles that have smoke billowing out of them. This is a favorite. I'm kind of. Is there a movie they made that doesn't have smoke billowing out of a car? I don't think so.
Corsican
Well, the
Brothers.
Corsican brothers don't have cars.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not a
but-
Cheech and Chong movie, though.
It's smoke billowing out of wagons.
Fair enough. But yeah, the Corsican Brothers has nothing to do with this shtick of Pedro and the Man. Nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've enjoyed many things those guys have done, but I didn't care for the Corsican Brothers at all. It was just too dumb. It was too dumb. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of dumb stuff in the Cheech and Chong movies, it's clever dumb. Right?
That's different.
It is different. And like I
Would
said,
you say it's on a level of an Ishtar?
Oh no, it's way better than Ishtar.
Ah.
Ishtar. I mean, I know, but the truth is, I actually watched that movie.
I'm
Was it-
sorry
You know
to hear
what?
that.
The story is there, it's just miscast.
It's so bad though, dude. It's so
Yeah, because the casting is terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, who do we have in that? We had the Dick Tracy guy,
Mhm.
and we
Yeah,
had the
Warren
Rain
Beatty.
Man guy.
Yep, neither one of them have a comedic bone in their body, and they
No.
were trying to be
No,
funny.
no, particularly Warren Beatty. He's just not a funny guy.
Yeah.
Although I did watch another movie that had horses in it, Hidalgo, and that was pretty good.
That's a good movie.
You could have dogs in it.
Well, no, that
The
was
Viggo Mortensen
Viggo
movie.
Mortensen movie. You hadn't seen Hidalgo, Amy. You should watch it. You'd
Oh,
like it.
fantastic.
That's a good movie. Yeah. Do not, on the other hand, watch Ishtar. It is bad.
Okay.
No, stay away.
I say that as a friend. Don't watch it. Start. Okay.
Yeah. But no, Hidalgo is amazing.
You can watch Spies Like Us, which is like a remake of Ishtar.
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
Spies Like Us is funny though,
Yes.
because they have
All right.
professional comedians in it.
Comedians.
Ah.
Mhm.
Funny actors for funny shows.
Yeah, go
Makes it
figure.
easier.
Yeah. Well, that's Dan
Right.
Aykroyd, and he's pretty good in that, actually. But anyway, this is very good, Eric. Thank you very much. This
Thank
is
you.
very, very on mission, unlike Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What? I
But
did pretty good.
yeah, but if you guys like what Eric has done, please vote for him in straw poll. Very nice. Now let's go over here and take a look at what Alan has done. Now, of course, this is also right on mission, and of course, we got them doing their live show stuff, which they do. You know, they do their little concerts, impromptu concerts, where Tony Chong is not playing the same song that Cheech is singing. You know, that's always important.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
That's gotta
yeah,
be hard.
yeah. I kind of wonder if Chong can actually play guitar because in the movies
Yep.
he's actually ripping. but it's just intentionally very wrong for what they're trying to do.
It's
He
so
might be a
funny.
good guitar player, actually. It's possible. I love this though. This is great. This song is hilarious, and I sang a bit of it earlier for you, but I do it no justice. You have to see Cheech Marin do it. It's absolutely hilarious. Him and his little beanie hat, because he's a little sawed-off dude, and that's part of the point, right? That's kind of part of the
Mhm.
comedy. He's just a little sawed-off dude. Yeah. But anyway, what do you think about this
Yeah.
one, Jeff?
I'm liking it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's really, really good. And the thing, it's really weird to say this, but and I never thought about it before, because I rewatched here. They're actually these movies are incredibly wholesome. It's shocking.
Hmm.
compared to today.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not like
Mm.
because they're
they
good
can get
guys. They're nice
they get
guys.
vulgar.
Yes, but Chester, you said Terrifier 2 should be rated G.
No,
So I
well,
don't know. If I,
fair. What was someone was trying to say something?
I was just saying that sometimes they get vulgar, but sometimes it's vulgar in innuendo, not because
Yeah, it's
they
innuendo.
said it.
Yeah, and I mean, probably the most vulgar thing I think I heard them say was Vendejo. And I don't know,
Oh my
do
God.
they even cuss?
buddy.
I don't even think they cuss in English, dude. Seriously, I don't.
They might say shit, maybe.
Maybe, maybe. But it's just shockingly how wholesome it is given the content.
Oh, yesterday's R is today's PG, right?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Mm.
But I love Cheech and Chong. They are absolutely great. I've loved them since I was young. Of course, I didn't see them when they came out because I was a kid, but I saw them as a teenager. And they're just wonderful. Great fun. They make you laugh. And the thing is, answer this question for me, chat, and everybody else. When's the last time someone actually made you laugh? I mean, laugh
Like in a movie?
or stand up or anything.
Huh.
Like for the right
Shane
reasons, you mean?
Gillis.
What was that?
Shane Gillis. He's pretty good.
Shane Gillis.
I don't know
I
Shane
saw
David
Gillis.
Bert
Tell.
Kreischer in person. He was
I
hilarious.
loved his music for Chariots of Fire.
I'd say for me, it's got to be Gabriel Iglesias. You know, Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
I
He.
like a lot
I'm
when
big
I'm
on
hanging
Tony
out with my
Hinchcliffe.
friends and doing things.
Yeah. Well,
I like that.
the thing with Fluffy is we've seen his entire career. And that dude has mastered his craft. I mean, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. You know, I did see someone, this guy do a stand up long ago, and it was really, really good. John Leguizamo. Boy, have times
Really?
changed.
Wow.
But I
He's
mean, like 20
insufferable
some
now.
years ago, I saw a stand up from John, and it was great, dude.
It was like a one-man show, right? Was it
Yeah,
that one?
it was really good. But
It
now
was like
all he
half
does.
stand-up, half like serious.
Yeah, no, of course, a good comedian brings in drama, serious drama into their act.
Mhm.
That's the sign of a master, right? But John, that was a killer show, and now it's like insufferable. You can't even watch John Leguizamo anymore. He's so hardcore racist. What the hell happened to him, dude?
Oh.
I
They
don't
didn't
know.
cast him on the Mario movie. It broke his heart.
See, and I don't even mind that original Mario Brother movie. I enjoyed it actually.
Yeah, greatest movie ever made.
Yeah.
That's what Orson Welles said.
Yep. Well, he would know.
Words of Orson Welles, not me. So blame him if you don't like it.
Well, I think he like a lot of La Raza people are kind of caught up in this idea that they're indigenous and the white peoples aren't, and it's like we both came from Europe, you know. I don't get that. You guys have seen that, right? A lot of these kind of La Raza Latinos, they keep going on about how they're indigenous, and it's like, no, you come from conquistadors.
I mean,
Yeah, not if they have pale skin. They're not indigenous.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, if you got to
Yeah.
go that way, it's the same thing, right?
We come from where Spanish is spoken with a heavy lisp. A place called Spain.
Yeah.
Welcome to Spain.
It just makes me sad because he used to be real funny, dude. Anyway, vote for Alan and straw poll. This is awesome. Let me move along here over to it's Elrod. Hi, Elrod. We have a chicken.
Gobbly do. It's the Easter chicken.
Is this the origin story of Chick King?
That's the origin story of Easter.
Oh, fair.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Aw.
Well, if that, then it should be a
And
rabbit.
a 420. This is what inspired Hitler to do those infamous things.
Oh, fair.
This is from chapter 1 of Mein Kampf.
Oh, no.
I don't
Ooh,
think
look
that's
at that.
Batman.
Flash
true.
Gordon,
German
man.
Shepherd.
Or is that Buck Rogers?
Then I did a scribbly Flash Gordon.
That is
Yeah,
Flash
Gordon. Yeah, I thought it was Flash.
Buck Rogers would have a weird head sock thing like Gambit
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, is that where Gambit got it from?
and brown hair.
Hmm?
And then I did Cheech and Chong because I heard we were doing that.
No,
In
look
Easter,
look at that
in
Cheech.
Easter
That is
times.
perfect, dude. That is
Oh, I love
you.
her.
You have encapsulated the essence of Pedro 100%.
Ooh.
Although the yellow
Oh no,
shirt,
this is my this is the guy that mows our lawn.
fair,
This is
fair. But and of
I
course,
didn't do Cheech. I
Pedro's
forgot.
very proud. He's held a job for 6 weeks. But the only mistake you've made here, Elrod, is the yellow shirt should be showing his belly, his midriff.
Yep.
Well, his midriff is down here in his zoot suit.
His pants are so high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that is great, though. That is such the essence of him. He's so chill. And then Tommy is he's a space alien. So, yeah. Anyway, what do you think about this, Jeff? You want to comment?
Looks like an Easter bunny.
It does, but it has
That's
Chong
awesome.
in it, which is troublesome.
A high Easter bunny.
Hi, Easter Bunny. It's a great Easter Bunny head, by the way. But if you guys like what Elrod has done, please vote for him the straw poll. All righty. Let me jump over here
That would have
to
been a great Chong premise.
what?
Oh, like Chong hiding in an Easter bunny outfit.
Hiding from the cops or something? Yeah,
Yeah.
Chong is a furry dude.
maybe. Maybe. Let's go over here and see what Jerry has done. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Wow, look at that. That is great.
So
Now, yeah, go ahead.
I turned them into superheroes as I
Mhm.
do. So Tommy's got his sort of poison ivy, but he can only make hemp
Of course.
vine.
Right.
That's what, of course.
And Cheech is flying with his smoke powers,
It's true.
trailing behind him. So
Absolutely. Yeah. That's great. That is great. One of the funniest little thing I mentioned already, I'm sure, but one of the great things these guys do is for me some of the funniest stuff that comes out of them is when Pedro is panicking, right? Because he's done the wrong drugs or too many drugs or something, and he thinks he's going to die. It's almost like Fred Sanford in a way.
it's the big one, Elizabeth.
Here I'm
I'm
coming.
coming,
I'm coming, Elizabeth. But it's funny because Chong is always all of a sudden this peace guru that calms him down, right?
Yeah.
It's great, and you got the beanie too. Everyone's got the beanies and the I don't know, it was just a bandana, I guess. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Jeff, you got an opinion here?
Yes. What are those things?
Those are hemp vines attacking the enemy.
They're hemp vines.
Yes, they're attacking Stacy Keach.
Okay. I thought hemp was different than marijuana. Marijuana.
Whoa.
What? Hey, this is YouTube.
Stacy
They're
Keach,
hemp
yet
vines.
another person with a hair lip. Or cleft palate, as the kids call it these days.
Would I? Hair lip.
Yeah. I actually have a girl in my school. She's been in my school since she was what 5, I guess. Now she'll be going to college very soon. I think it's her second year of high school. But anyway, so
Mhm.
she's been with me years. A sweet kid, very good artist actually. She goes to a special artist high school like you guys.
Nice.
But she wants to do manga. But anyway, nice kid. Always liked her. But she has a hair lip. And when she was a kid, it was very pronounced. And then I don't know what happened, but we went from COVID, where there did for years everyone's wearing a damn mask, right? In my classroom, which I hated. But nevertheless,
Mm-hmm.
finally they took the masks off, so I saw her face for the first time in literally years. And little kids change a lot, over a short period of time, right?
It's
And
just wrong.
I didn't like it. I hated it. But what do you do? Japanese are panicky anyway. But
Mm.
anyway, the point being is when she took the mask off. Of course, now I see her more adult face, but the hair
Mhm.
lip's gone.
Ah,
Oh,
I didn't know they
Well, that
good.
could
just
go
proved that
away.
masks were needed. Cured hair lips.
Well, I don't know
no,
what happened, but because she had
she
one,
must have had a procedure.
maybe good for her,
Yeah,
I
maybe
guess.
they had it fit. Yeah,
Well,
she
it
probably got
wasn't.
old enough.
Maybe it wasn't like
Sometimes
it was
that's the way.
horrible, but I mean, it was noticeable. But it's gone now. Um, you
Good
know,
for her.
Yeah, good for her. Yeah, but she's a nice kid. I like her. And she's had a bit of a rough time because her mother's a moron.
Oh.
Yeah, well, she's one
It's
of
just
those.
good to know she got to get rid of that handlebar mustache too. That
Yeah,
covered it up.
right. Yeah, maybe that's part of it. But now her mom's one of those women that jumps from one rich man to another.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But she doesn't seem to be taking any of those cues from her mom. Well, that I know. I'm just a teacher. What would I know, right? But
Well, she's to have some ambition of her own. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, no, she's got it. She knows where she's going. But
Good.
I'm just saying, she's a nice kid. But it was more about the hair lip thing. I think that's the only one I've ever had in my school was that one kid. I had one girl who had a lazy eye long
Hmm.
time ago, like 20 years ago. That girl was a freaking genius, though. I'm kind of scared
Wow.
what she ended up to be. Probably a politician or something.
She did two things at the same time. It made her brain go faster.
Dude, that no, I mean
Being able to see every
she had a
direction at
serious
the
lazy
blind.
eye, dude. But that was a smart kid. I've seen thousands of kids, dude, and most of them are normal. Girls tend to be the more normal. Boys are all over the place. But I've seen a couple of boys who were probably smarter than her. But oh, I don't know. That's a smart kid, dude. Real smart.
Different kinds of smart.
Well, I'm just raw computing power, right? Is what I mean. Anyway,
Oh, so she was like a science or oh, sorry.
I think she wanted to go into political science, is what she was
Oh,
talking about.
interesting.
Yeah, which I thought was a bit of a waste, but I try not to get involved in that stuff. Let the kids follow their
Mm.
dreams, right? But anyway, thank you very much, Jerry. If you guys like what Jerry's done, please vote for the straw poll. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. Let me just go check and make sure. I'm not forgetting anyone. Nope, I got everybody. So go ahead and vote. Jeff has certainly dropped the straw poll, I think. Yeah, there it is. And I'll go see if we have any draw alongs. Of course, Cheech and Chong is definitely going to be for the older crew. I found this little artistic rendering of the two. Chong is better than Cheech in this, but it's cute, so I decided to use it. But let me go over here and see if I can't find draw along stuff. Alrighty. Alright. Like, oh, it's way up here. Wow, you
I
guys got
bet Doug will
so
be happy
many
because it's not
tabs.
anime.
What do you say?
I bet Doug will be happy because it's not anime.
Oh, I'm sure this is right up his alley. He's probably a stoner anyway. Um, so yeah, I just have Doug's, so then I will just go ahead and jump over to the Twitters. Thank you, Doug. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, well, Cheech and Chong is going to be for the older folk, really. Younger people will have no clue who Cheech and Chong are, I'm sure. Well, they know who Cheech Marin is for sure. He's very recognizable. All right, let me see if we can find something. This is someone yelling. Why is there so many people yelling on the TikToks?
don't know. Is that what's supposed to be funny? Like yelling?
I don't know. There are a lot of people yelling and angry about stuff.
Hmm. Let's see.
Oh no, the lady's trying to find her baby underneath all the kitty cats.
Are we sharing?
No,
I don't
he's
know.
good.
No, she's I got out, mommy. I reminds me of a book I read called, I think it was called Cats. And it was
Like the
about,
musical?
it was about people were dropping so many cats in the forest that you had this kind of feral cat attack on this little town. It might have been Stephen King.
Skinwalkers?
No, 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 no. It was definitely just cats.
They were afraid of the cats.
They were. Yeah. Once again, I'm trying to find fun stuff, and
I don't
okay.
think it's on right now, so I'll just have to take your play-by-play.
Wow. Tall family. Mm-hmm. Okay. Am I sharing? Probably not. Let me go do
No,
that.
you're not.
Okay.
Uh,
I will share. I do apologize. Here we go. Now you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm trying to find some.
Yay!
Now, Jerry, my goal is to find something that is cute. That's my goal.
ooh.
And it's often difficult because, especially these days,
You would think it'd be hard to find cute cat videos on the internet.
you would think so.
Yeah, but Chester doesn't look at that stuff, so it's not in his algorithm.
Yeah, it's as I say, it's all about the algorithm.
Well, the thing is,
Mike,
the only time I ever use Twitter, you see me using it
So this is
literally
it.
once a week. They got some
You
basketball
don't
stuff.
look
That's kind of cool.
at basketball stuff
I
on
was
Twitter?
traveling.
Oh, that doesn't seem. I don't think that's a rule anymore. I see LeBron James every time he touches the ball, he travels every time. I just assume they got rid of that rule.
There is a
Mhm.
uh,
That's kind of
sugar
nice.
glider video going around. Maybe you'll run into it.
Maybe this guy's got
No.
Tourette's or some inner palsy,
Is
maybe.
it one of the shooting blinder killing the anaconda?
Oh, that's difficult.
Maybe a story?
Ready, set, go. Go.
Hmm.
No, that's a what if
I don't
situation.
think
That's
they're
not
gonna
cute.
make it very far.
Well, I don't know. They're just rowing.
Hmm.
Now,
they're
I'm
just
probably the
training.
only person here that will be able to associate with this. Maybe Jerry would, but I went to university in Boston, and
Mhm.
we literally. I know this is going to sound so nerdy, but we literally would get drunk and challenge each other to skull races in the river.
Oh my gosh, you're
Yeah,
such a yuppie.
I know.
Yeah, we were too poor for that.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they were free. You just go right down there. They were free.
I
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They
my
say till
friends
the
and I
cops are
all the drunk kids in their ascots and blazers out there.
I never have worn
my
an
Come
friends and
on,
I
ascot.
we were
let's go
Um,
get a boat.
but
we,
no, because you
Oh,
can't let the
great,
Harvard
Dad.
kids win, because fuck the Harvard kids. That's the rule. All right. And the MIT
You know
kids
the
are awful.
rule.
They can't do
Don't let
shit.
Harvard win, Dad.
That's
But
actually how you mix Mexican chocolate so it actually dissolves.
oh, nice. Well,
It
dude,
really looks like they're shoveling
can
water.
anyone in your family make a proper mole?
No, no, I live with my mostly Cuban side, so
Oh, I see.
I yeah they don't mole in Cuba.
Dude, have you guys had an actual mole?
Yeah,
oh
That
yeah.
is some of the best sauce you'll ever have in your life, man. It's freaking awesome.
there's only one place around here that does it because everything else is Salvador.
Oh, they don't do moles, huh? Yeah, mole is great.
No, they do papusas.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything cute here, guys.
No,
Oh,
that
wait
was
a
kind
minute.
of cute about the live stream. Wait,
Oh, hold on a
what?
second.
Hold on. What is
He's
this?
got a gun.
That counts. It's a dog with a
He's got a
crane
rabbit.
mobile suit. It's a
It's
bunny
a bunny
It's a
with
bunny
a
with a
little
machine
with a
rat.
gun.
Gatling gun.
Okay. I'm going to take it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
going to take it.
absolutely. Oh, didn't you have a character like this, Elrod?
Oh,
He was a bunny that had a little tank.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, just like
the
Elrod
thing,
That's
drawing.
one
amazing.
thing about China though that I have to say, even though most of their robots are horrible and they don't work well and they're just junk, it's like the only people on Earth that seem to be really wanting to use robots though are the Chinese.
Well, they're powered by rabbits. How can you resist?
I mean, yeah,
That
look
is
at
true.
him.
But no, I mean, even here in Japan, it's
Well,
more of a novelty. But
and over the small color.
yeah. But I mean,
Mm,
the Chinese robots are awful, but they are
mhm.
trying to integrate them though. I wish we were doing more so. Anyway, I'm going to take that. That's good. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's
that's
so
pretty good.
cute.
Or move.
All right, let's see what. We have Alan cheating. Okay.
Very nice.
Let me
Sorry.
make sure that my sound is correct. It is not. All right. There we go. Got it fixed. All right. So let's see. Cheech and Chong. This is from Doug, of course, of Blue Moon Cartoons. This is perfect. Very nice. We got Chong lighten up. Although, to be fair, Doug, that spliff is much more of a Cheech version. Chong's would be much larger.
Smoking dog shit, man.
That's a
Yeah.
nice little smoke poofy.
It's part Maui Wowie and then Labrador. Yeah,
In Labrador.
Labrador. Dude, I haven't thought of
Dog ate my
Black
sandwich.
Hops in forever, Ethereal. That's a great mention, dude. Black Hops. What was the name? It was an Asian guy. He's like a dentist or something.
Lim? Something Lim?
Yeah, something
Tim
Lim.
Lim?
Yeah,
Timlin?
Tim Lim.
I
Yeah,
want to say
yeah.
Ron Lim, but that's the guy that used to be G.I. Joe.
But yeah, his Black
He
Hops
was
was
just
great. He's a good artist, dude.
Hmm,
Anyway,
He's the one
let's.
doing Common America now.
Is he?
really?
All right.
Well, he's a good artist. I bet they
He's
both
really
look stuff.
sorry.
Tim Lim.
Tim Lim, yeah. Because he was all about the rabbits, and he had a couple of pet rabbits he would show us on,
Aw.
turn his camera on and show us them for his kids. But Black Ops is a beautiful
Weren't
comic
dragging
book,
their
dude.
neck.
Anyway, moving on. Let's see what we got for music today. Doug loves his heavy metal. Some mushroom tea. Bro, if we're here,
burritos.
then who's watching the burritos? That's fair.
You better just hurry up and eat up the burritos so we don't
think
wander
so.
off. Or
They do.
something.
Yeah, that is true. Now, the thing is, I noticed in my rewatching, though. Thank you very much, Doug. It's great. But one of the things I've noticed in my rewatching that I thought was kind of, I didn't remember, was because I haven't seen these since the '80s, right? Was the fact that we always associate marijuana with them, and fair enough. But actually, any drug they could get their hands on actually was what they did. Acid, speed, uppers, downers. Well, I said uppers. Yeah, they cocaine, any kind of drug. It wasn't specifically marijuana at all.
They just have
Mm.
some of their best bits came with the weed though, like when
Yeah, I
the
know.
cop tried to pull him over.
Which one?
Or the bike cop pulls him over and he's like,
Stoned, yeah.
"Hey, what's up?" "I don't
What's
know,
up?
man. You pulled us over."
Dude, can I have some of that hot dog? Sure, you can have the whole thing, man.
Yeah, man. You
Got
gonna finish that hot dog?
Well, he's following behind that whole van was made of marijuana, and the cop was following behind and got stoned, right?
Yeah.
That
Hey,
was
what's
good.
up? Comes out to the window.
Yeah. Now there's so many good scenes with cops. The opening of Up in Smoke where they first meet, and he ends up so damn stoned that he parks like off the road.
It's just they think they're going really fast and they're just stopped dead.
Just dead stop.
Oh yeah,
And the cop comes
Well, at
up
least
and
they're not
he's
hitting
losing.
anything.
Well, the problem is he was panicking. I told you, Cheech panics. because he thinks he's going to die. He did too much drugs. So Chong's like, dude, yeah, it's okay, man. I got you, man. I guess I'm going to bring you down. And he's going through his pocket, and he's got all these different pills, drugs in his
Oh
pocket. And he
no.
gives them a couple, like a 3 or 4 of them. And they say, oh, no, don't do those, man. Those, And of course, Cheech had already eaten them. And he's like, wow, that's like the most acid I've seen anyone ever eat in my life. And he starts panicking even more. I'm gonna die. Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah, they're smashed against a post, I think, right?
Yeah, well, barely, just touching it, which is part of the joke. I do love when they're driving the van and the cholos come up and they're hopping the lowrider, and he's like, well, what's we're just not dressed right, man. And they went and they pimped up, choloed up the van. It was funny. Yeah. Anyway, very nice.
That's
So what I need to do is I need to go over here and I need to grab the straw poll. I need to vote myself. So let me get to it. But if you guys have never seen Cheech and Chong, or it's been a while, go watch them. They hold up great. They really do. It's good, shockingly wholesome fun, actually. I mean, I was just laughing, and I haven't laughed hard in quite a while. I was surprised. Anyway, who won the
okay.
Drawn
That's a
Recorder
very good
Ultimate
one.
Fan? Well, yeah, it is. Ultimate Fan Edition Cheech and Chong competition. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I have
Mhm.
5 choices here. And I could go with Amy, say Cheech Lester. That was a cheese joke, I think.
That's cute.
No, that's she Cheech.
Amy, she Cheech. What? Oh, she cheats. Oh, that's mine. Okay.
Ah,
Okay,
not
fair
No,
enough.
say
no,
cheese.
whatever. Just keep going.
Okay, I will. I'll continue. Or I could go with Eric Beaner Hawkins. Fair enough. Fair enough. Number 3, of course, El Rodimus, the anti-Tarantino Flash. Yep. 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 Jerry, it's spelled with a G, I do believe, not a J, Jeff. Jerry
No, it's spelled with a
Yellowbeard.
J.
Oh, it is. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, don't listen to me.
You're thinking of Anderson.
Yeah. Jerry Yellowbeard Oresco, Gangly Fingers. Very nice. Very nice.
Gangly.
I seem to have
They were,
fond memories of Yellowbeard, though.
yeah, Cheech and Chong starred or appeared on Yellowbeard as well.
Yeah, no, I know. But I don't really remember the movie, but my memory is fond. So it must have been a good
That's
movie.
known as Graham Chapman, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'll have to
It's
go
the
check
fruit
it
of
out.
your loins.
And of course, number 5, Alan. I was born in East LA. I was born in East LA. Yeah, it's an actual song sung by Cheech Marin. It's real.
Ah,
Yep. It was on MTV all the time.
was he born in East LA?
Well, see, the thing of some of us are old enough
Beautiful
to remember
panorama
when
city.
MTV launched, and we got the same songs over and over and over and over and over and over again for I'd say about 2 years. And then MTV became something.
Oh, okay.
You guys remember that?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
there on the launch.
Yeah, yeah.
It was they started a channel to play music videos before people had made music videos.
Yeah.
And so they
Wow.
only had like 20 videos or something, and a lot of them were like film clips from bands used to put out, like not movies per se, but like they'd record
Like skits.
them
Oh, like when they're on the road.
them performing or doing something. And those were sort of the earliest videos. We didn't,
Yeah.
nobody was a music video director or anything
Yeah.
like that. And so,
And a lot of the
yeah,
early stuff we did get was all that kind of dumb pop crap.
yep, because they were the only ones that made it.
Yeah.
You didn't have much in the way of like R&B or certainly no country, nothing like that.
No.
And then
Mm.
when MTV took off, all of a sudden record producers were like, this is our marketing. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is marketing right here. So let's put
Well,
money into that.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
huge.
of course, then eventually we got a little thing called Headbangers Ball. Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
Ricky Rocket.
Dude, I've
No, Ricky
waited
Ratman.
every week for that, man. I loved Headbangers Ball. Um,
Headbangers Ball.
yeah, but then again, it's kind of interesting that one of the, no, I would say the best music video of all time actually comes from that era. They haven't improved since. Aha, Take on Me.
Oh, the rotoscoping.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
still good. It's so good. Like I've
Good
seen
video.
some these days, and there just seem to be a bunch of prostitutes.
They're not dancing very well.
Well, I mean, they're
Well, it's
pretty much
also they're just
prostitutes.
corporate. There's nothing to prove.
Right. No one's really creating
Like then
anything.
they were all making like we're going to make movies because we got to show who we are. Like now it's just like
Do you remember the gosh, what is the band called? Something okay, yes okay, or
Oh,
they
I
the ones
think
the ones
for
that
the
basically
name.
broke YouTube with the treadmill video.
I don't know.
oh yeah.
So right, they wanted to do this video. It's all one take of them on the treadmills going back and forth and all this
Oh wow.
dance
And
stuff.
they're jumping treadmill to treadmill. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's all done in one take, but
Whoa.
the record studio, the record company was like, this is dumb. We're not going to pay money to do this video.
Hmm.
And so they put it on YouTube, which nobody knew what YouTube was at the time. And
Oh
and
wow.
that's what blew up, one of the first viral videos that blew up YouTube.
Oh neat.
Well,
Well,
that's
that's how
interesting. I
So
didn't know that.
Yeah.
the British Lily Allen. That's how she got started. She put all of her stuff on MySpace.
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 Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Made her huge.
Pretty sure, like another one that really hit big, and it's also hit big on YouTube, so it crosses over. Was there was a little band called Ram Jam, and they made a song, a cover, and they had created a video to send to the label just to kind of show the song. They just did it in their backyard, and of course, the
Right.
Black Betty is the song they did, that old like spiritual song, but they rocked it up. And Black Betty was a mega hit on MTV, even though it was just like literally a sizzler reel for their label.
Oh wow.
And of course, on YouTube, it's a huge video as well.
Must have done very well with it
It is
then.
great. Never seen Black Betty by Ram Jam?
No, I don't think so.
Some guy's backyard. It is.
It is, yeah. I mean, it literally was just a little scissor reel sent to the label. That's all it was. But it became, one of the biggest videos of all time. Anyway, thank
They're
you
a
very
one-hit
much.
wonder, though.
What do you say? Oh, they're definitely one hit
They're a
wonder.
one-hit
That's for
wonder.
sure. And it's not even an original song, dude. How sad is that? Anyway, thank you very much, Amy, Elrod, Jerry, and Eric. You guys, did some great stuff today. I do appreciate it. But Alan wins, and I kind of get it.
Ooh.
So,
You vote.
congratulations, Alan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Oh, by 1
Round
point.
privilege.
Oy. Oh,
I did vote. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice you voting. I wasn't dozed off.
You know, I voted. Well, he was talking, and I didn't want to interrupt him, so. I'm still trying to understand this Cheech joke.
I don't know, but it sounds like a snack.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like a new flavor of Cheetos.
Or maybe
good.
it's picking on the Wonder Woman movie. I'm not sure.
No, I mean, have you ever heard of like She Elf?
Oh,
Stuff
I
like
get it.
that.
Cheech. I get it.
Whatever.
Okay.
If I have to explain it, it's ruined.
That is fair.
It could be
We don't
That is
call
fair.
them she-elves, we call them Legolas.
Yes. You know the funny thing, when I was a kid, the Cheetos, of course, their mascot's name is Chester, and people always try to make a joke of it. You know how kids are. But the thing is, it never insulted me.
Well, he's cool, right?
He is cool. He's a cool cat.
He is.
Yeah.
it's not easy.
It's
being
not
cheesy.
easy being cheesy, man. You're right.
No? And Cheetos are really good. So there you go.
Well, they're okay. But
They're okay. What
uh,
was your favorite savory snack?
I'm
Chick
boring.
potato chips?
Yeah,
Oh.
like kettle chips or like just a tortilla, like a tortilla
Alright.
chip.
Salted,
Were you born 45
salted
years
tree
old?
bark.
I know, right? Sorry.
Doritos are better than Cheetos, but
No,
by a
definitely.
mile.
Doritos are way better, but Fritos are better than Doritos.
Ooh.
Cheese
Controversial?
puffs?
And they have the
No,
bandito.
never
The
eat cheese
frito
puffs. The cheese puffs are literally the ghetto version.
Of
That was a hot take, and not even a flaming hot take.
Well, now that's what I was going to mention. Is I for the very first time, because I've heard about it, for the very first time last week, I saw in Japan flaming Cheetos.
Oh
really?
yeah, they have like many flavors of Cheetos
They
in Japan
do,
now.
but I had never seen them before. So I heard people on the internet talk about how they love their flaming Cheetos. So I was like, all right, I
That
picked
is
that up and tried it, and God, did I hate it.
Oh, they're
Invented
disgusting.
by a
Was it
white
too
lady.
It
hot?
was god awful. I mean, I like the spice because boy, it's got spice and that's good. But it's
Okay.
the vinegar.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
How do
I,
you feel about Takis then, by comparison?
how do I feel about what?
Takis?
Takis.
I don't know
Yeah,
Takis.
my daughter.
They probably
It's
don't
basically
have those there.
it's very much like a flaming hot Cheeto, but you know,
In a circle.
yeah.
Yep. And you
If it
My
didn't
daughter
have
wait
the
till you
vinegar, I
get
might like it. I do like spicy.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately I live here in Japan. I don't get much. I don't get a lot of American stuff. If I can find foreign things, it's mostly European, not American.
huh, it's
Yeah,
odd.
Japanese don't like American stuff. In general, I mean, it's the thing about the whole tariff stuff. That's kind of a point that's not being made. Sure, you
Mhm.
can force countries like, say, Japan to open their borders, but the Japanese aren't going to buy it.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason the Japanese don't buy American cars, you know.
I thought there
They
was a
have
big
their own.
thing at one time where American pop culture, especially like clothes, like jeans was a big deal, stuff
Sure,
like that. I thought that was
that
big.
that is still is. The
Okay.
funny thing is, you know what the biggest jean brand here? Would you like to guess?
DoorDash.
No,
I was gonna say guess, Wrangler.
no, Lee.
Oh, Lee jeans.
I
Okay.
mean,
Not
Close.
literally the poor kid jeans, right?
Oh,
Hey, that's Rustler.
Well, yeah, but the Lee is the poor kid jean, right? But over here they like the biggest brand. They love Lee, and of course
oh, okay.
Levi is, well, of course, but you're paying what, $200 for a pair of Levi's, right? These days. The good thing about Levi is you don't once you buy one, pair of Levi's, you don't really need to buy another.
All right.
Well, they're
That's
going to
good.
last your whole life.
They last forever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like you have to stock up on them. I do have a single pair of Levi, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
They're still good?
they're that's a life product right there for sure. And I have the other pair of jeans I have are Nautica.
Nautica.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
Not.
I know. Well, once again, a European brand, but the quality's great. I've had those for 30 years, dude.
I think I've had Nautica like beachwear, like swim trunks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what Chester wears on his Yatchet.
I
No,
There
got
you
some
go.
Bugle Boys
no, I have a proper
That's
pair. I wear khaki shorts on the yacht. Thank you very much.
with an ascot
Oh.
and nothing else.
No ask. I've never had an ascot.
You
I'm
can't go
sending
Say
you
an
yachting
an
without
ascot,
ascot.
one?
nothing else.
Although
Bring out the receipt.
and I don't even wear deck shoes. I go footless, shoeless, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Just with peg legs.
Yeah,
Shoeless and an ascot.
yeah. But I'm not even joking. I do wear khakis on the boat.
Oh, I
Of
guess you have
course.
to wear something.
Well,
But he calls
Not
because
them
like the navy shorts.
if you
puts
get
on the
hooked on
ducky
something,
pad.
which you do all the time, by the way, on a sailboat, they don't tear. If you're wearing some other
Khakis
kind of
don't?
short, it'll tear. The
I did
khakis
not
don't
know
tear.
that.
Yeah.
What, they
Well, if
don't
you were wearing
break?
some
Are they
biker
really
shorts,
indestructible?
that wouldn't happen at all.
I'm not wearing no damn biker shorts. What the hell's wrong with you? But no, a lot of the gear you see people wear on boats there's a reason for it. It's actually
For it.
utilitarian, right?
Mm.
Anyway, thank you all very much for coming in. That was a lot of fun. Cheech and Chong is great. It was great nostalgia. Honestly, just to go back and to watch them again, I really surprised how well they held up, because a lot of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff doesn't hold up really well these
Mm.
days, but they did. They were still funny, and
I
that's what's
get it.
important.
That's
But
good.
then, well, there was a lot of good stuff in the '70s that holds up, like we were mentioned earlier, Smokey and the Bandit. You can watch that. That's an eternal movie right there.
And all of the music.
Oh, the music, everything. It's just that's a movie you can watch anytime. But not all movies hold up. Like, when's the last time you saw Naked Gun? Yeah, that doesn't hold up.
No.
Yeah.
33 and a
Nevertheless,
third doesn't.
Airplane holds up.
Airplane does. You're right. Airplane does hold up. But surprisingly, that Val Kilmer slapstick movie holds up. Top Secret, I think it was called.
That was the neat thing about him dying. Is like that movie got a lot of
Love.
attention that it
Yeah.
never had. Yeah,
It's good. It's a funny movie, dude. It's a good, solid
it's his
flick.
best movie.
Yeah.
It's the best of the Zucker brothers for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for coming in. Like I said, if we could do anything other than for you to just go check out Cheech and Chong, I highly suggest it. Keep in mind, what is it this weekend, Eric? That their documentary life documentary comes out.
Yeah, I think there's a special preview on Sunday, 420, of course, and then I think it releases nationwide next week.
Well, there you go. And I'm definitely going to watch that movie because those guys are, like I said, they are American icons. But nevertheless, let me go over here and let everybody talk about what they're working on, and then we'll let Jeff take us out of here. Next week, though, first, Eric, what are we working on?
The Bible.
The Bible. Now, Amy, I have a question for
Hey.
you.
Yes.
Could you possibly stay on mission with the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, because you tend to veer off course a little bit.
I don't know what Alan's going to do because he kind of blew his wad last night
I
on
think
Mike's
it's
show.
pretty good.
Did Mike do the Bible?
Did the
Well,
Bible
yeah.
last night.
Yeah, because he copies us all the time.
Oh God. But no, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that if you haven't actually read the whole thing, you might not realize
Well, no, Mike
how.
did King of Kings, but everyone ended up going different Bible stories. So
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many, but there's all
right.
kinds of supernatural creatures, technologies. I mean, all kind of stuff. The Bible is full of a lot of colorful things.
Go Old Testament and you'll find some crazy
Oh
stuff.
God, the Old Testament is the
Phoenicians,
best.
dirty
Yeah.
Phoenicians.
Well,
Phoenicia.
Well, like for instance, people might think, okay, David and Goliath, but do you realize that that's not the only giant that David fought?
Giant.
Yeah,
Ooh.
David.
Fight? They were best friends.
David fought multiple giants.
That's
Never
a kid's
fought
show.
Goliath. They were besties. He's like,
Uh-huh.
"Ooh,
See, you
Davy,
won.
Yeah,
better not do that, Davy." He's
and
like, "Oh, whatever,
Mhm.
Goliath.
oh God, and
I'm gonna throw this rock through that window." "Oh, don't know, Davy. If you
it's a
throw
kid's
that rock
show.
through a window, you're gonna get
Goliath
in
was the
trouble."
lion. But
He was a dog.
now, was it a dog? Yeah. But Goliath wasn't even the biggest giant that that the Israelites fought. But just as an example, there's tons of stuff. There's referencing to Neptune, and there's all kind of stuff in the Bible, man. It's pretty cool.
Someone needs to draw a lot trying to protect the angels from the homosexual mob outside his house trying to
There you
have
go.
sex.
There you go, Alan.
Spoilers.
Well,
Well,
now
oh,
they did want the angels, but they refused the angels, so they said, "Well, throw out our daughters.
No, he
Your
offered the
daughters
daughters, and
then."
they said they did. No, we want them. We want the boys.
They want the beautiful angel boys.
You want the pretty one.
Those poor daughters, they got abused in that story. That's a pretty bad story. It's pretty awful. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason those cities were.
Sodom and
Mhm.
Gomorrah. Yeah, but did you continue reading this story, Amy?
Hmm?
Do you know what happened to Lot and his daughters after when they were hiding in a cave, thinking the world had ended.
Was it really that small a world back then? I wasn't sure if people knew how big places were. Like, was there more than one city, or were cities pretty far spread out back then?
It's just what the
I
story
mean, you
says.
gotta remember, no communications
Right?
But his
other
daughters
than
were
by foot.
worried that the world had ended and they needed to make children, so they got their father drunk and made babies with him.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Didn't Ham try to do that to Noah too?
Well, that's what Ham did to his mother. That's why Noah was so upset, right? He wasn't. It was not that Ham had seen his nakedness. He had seen his nakedness, which is his wife. It's one of those translation issues. If you can read the Hebrew, then it's way clearer.
And supposedly, some people say that's where black people came from.
And were you a bigger fan of Shem or of Curly?
Abednego
I
was
like Curly Joe.
Abednego was my dude. Yeah, I was all about Abednego. But yeah, Ham was not the Bible stories. He's not the good one. Yeah, for sure. But of course, mainly all of the stories that followed on through Japhet, right? But nevertheless, that has nothing to do with anything. But we're doing it next week, and there's a lot of cool stuff. I hope we get a lot of artists in here. I hope we have a lot of draw along, because
There's something for everybody. I mean,
there
even
is.
Rabbit could come in and do stuff,
there
even
is.
though he's atheist and all. There's plenty of stuff he could draw. Demons, devil, whatever. I mean, he'd do a great job. I told him that a few weeks ago.
Well, I mean, it is a
Mhm.
really good book. I mean, I'm a deist, right? So, but it's just a really good book, and I'm surprised people haven't read it more. And there's extra canonical stuff that is really good as well. You have the Gnostic stuff, and a lot of the Jewish stuff is great reading. Don't read the Talmud. Don't do that,
Do
We're
yourself a
not
favor.
know about them.
because you'll find out how much the Jews hate you. Yeah, the Talmud is a disgusting book. I suggest no one read it.
And
It
we're not
Sounds
supposed to
good.
know about
It's really bad, dude.
There's
But
lots of prostitutes. Armoron will have something to draw.
and that's right. There's tons of
Mhm.
stuff. And of course, for those who love doing like infernal things or abyssal things, you have King Solomon,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm,
the master of demons
mhm.
himself. But nevertheless, let's go over here. Amy, what are you working on? What do you want to say? Say something.
Hi! How is
Hi.
everybody? I didn't get to see who's in the audience today, but I think I heard Chester mention Thundaro and Dragon, and Lady might be out there. So, hi,
Rosa's over
guys. Thanks
here,
for
of
coming.
course.
Oh,
Ethereal Dragon,
Rosa.
Alpha
Hey.
Proto. Yep.
Hi, Alpha. Oh, thanks for coming out and seeing us all. Really appreciate you. Yeah, just glad to get out and draw for a bit, and was it was fun. It always is, and I'm sure looking forward to next week because I know that source material a little bit better.
Yeah.
So come see us then, and everybody draw. Or if you can't think of anything to draw, maybe just put down like a favorite scripture or something that you like. That'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah,
But
no, sure.
anyhow,
Yep, absolutely.
love y'all. See you
But
next week.
no, that sounds like a good plan. And of course, Doug is upset with me about my Fritos comment. I knew it was coming. My Fritos are
Doug
better,
likes
dude. I
Frito?
don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Blue Moon. Fritos are better than Doritos. They just are.
Oh,
what?
Yep.
disavow.
They
Disavow.
put
You know,
Fritos in.
I don't see Taco Bell making taco shells out of Fritos, but I do see them making taco shells out of
Well,
Oh,
Doritos.
I
yeah.
guess it depends on how you eat it. Let me give a suggestion to everybody.
With taco meat.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all had nacho salad, right? Right?
Just
I
It's
had a
a
taco
little bit.
salad.
it's basically just a broken taco, right?
Right.
Well, try making them with Fritos instead, and then come back to me.
Are you trying to sell us on a Frito
Okay.
flip roll?
So instead of using like nacho chips, use Fritos?
Yep,
Okay.
it's really good. Just put them
Frito
on the
pie.
bottom, put a bunch of meat on it, some cheese, some salsa, and then put your vegetables on top. Have at it, boy.
Taco Bell does occasionally have a burrito that's got Fritos in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good, man.
Yeah.
Of course, when we were kids, we used to put our potato chips in our sandwich all the time, bologna and cheese.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
it would
with
keep you from
Miracle Whip.
losing them, right?
Yep,
If
yep.
you put your sandwich and potato chips together, then you don't need 2 bags.
Well, that's pretty much what we were fed. We had these little lunch boxes with our favorite
Mhm,
superheroes or A Team or something like that, and inside we
mhm.
had sandwiches, bologna and cheese, and we had a
Okay.
bag of little chips, usually Ruffles or Lay's. I was a Ruffle kid. If you're a Lay's kid, we can't be friends. And then there was usually like an apple or an orange, and then a thermos full of some liquid.
Oh,
If
okay.
you went on a
You were
field
one of
trip,
those
you got
fancy
a
kids
soda
that got to
wrapped in
bring your
aluminum
own.
foil, right?
What was that? Say it again, Eric.
When you're on a field trip, when we go on field trips, our parents, everybody's did it. They wrapped our soda in aluminum foil and put it in the bag.
Yeah, no. Why did
Somehow
they
that,
do that,
yeah,
dude?
they thought it was going to keep it cold. It never did.
No, it is. You're right though. They all did the aluminum foil thing. That is weird.
It kept it cold until it sat on that hot bus all day.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but no, our lunches were pretty uniform. I wasn't until I was an older kid that we actually had cafeteria lunches.
Oh,
Yeah, like maybe junior high, no, high school, high school.
Wow.
Yeah, now my kids they had access to school lunch like all the time, but we didn't have that when I was a kid. How about you and I are about the same age? It sounds like Jerry. Did you have cafeteria lunch, or do you just get the
We
lunchbox?
no, we did, but I was a little bit of a fussy eater, so I didn't always like what they had for cafeteria food. So my mom would pack me something in a lunchbox, and like you
Sure.
said, it was always like
aw,
I had Star Wars lunchbox or Garfield lunchbox or
Right.
something like that,
something
and
I
awesome.
it
dude,
was
I
usually
Yeah.
like peanut butter and jelly or fluffernutter
sure,
or
sure,
something
sure,
like that.
sure.
Little bag of chips. Yep.
Dude, I had the best lunchbox, Blue Falcon.
That's why I do this
Really?
show, to figure out the other half lived.
Yeah,
My
Blue
first
Falcon.
my first lunchbox was from the Muppets, and it was Pigs in Space.
Oh, dude, I remember.
Oh,
No, I
Wow.
remember the Pigs in Space tin lunchbox. I remember those, man.
I
Mm-hmm.
had that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had like a
that's
Dukes
pretty
of
so
Hazzard
cool.
one. I remember one kid
I had the Dukes
had.
of Hazzard one year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There was a Battlestar Galactica that I wanted that one, but I couldn't have it. Um,
I had a crumbled up brown bag.
well, we had those, but see,
And he
that
drew
was
pictures of Buck Rogers on it and Tweaky.
oh, Buck Rogers. But yeah, no, the brown paper bag was for the field trip.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep.
We weren't. I don't know why, but we weren't allowed to bring lunch boxes on the field trip for some reason.
I think
Did
because
Really?
they
you
were
actually
afraid we were
have
gonna
little bags of chips?
Lose them?
just
We did.
smash each other in the head with them.
We did.
Yeah.
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 Like
The
little
little individual
bags? See,
bags.
Little
we had
bags.
Ziploc bags. So I
So
didn't
you
know
get
they made
kids
individual ones until like the 90s.
Oh, they had
get kids
stringers of
outside.
them. They were like on a clip.
Mhm.
There
Huh.
was a whole bunch of them on a stringer. You could buy in the store. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. My
Uh,
mom used to get them in it was like a box. It was a variety pack. So you'd have like a couple were
Mhm.
plain chips, and a couple be Doritos, and a couple would be like sour cream and onion chips or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You,
don't think
you
I don't
guys.
think I ever had them as a kid. I had, we'd buy big bags of chips and I get a Ziploc bag. I do remember
Well,
the
that works
variety
just as
pack of
well.
the little boxes of cereal. I miss
Dude,
those.
Oh
I
yeah, we
love
had those.
those. Because you could open them up right there and pour the milk right inside the box.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool, man. I remember those.
Oh yeah, remember it was before they changed them, they were called Sugar Smacks, and they had
Yeah, yeah,
the cereal box had a foil liner. So yeah,
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 hmm
yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah.
yep.
Sugar Smacks were
Hmm.
great. Although
Yep.
I was partial to Apple Jacks, to be honest.
Apple Jacks are great.
Apple
Very
Jacks and
good.
Life. I love Life cereal.
Really?
I'm a Fruity
Not much
Pebbles
apple
man.
flavor. I guess that's what Jack's tastes like.
Yeah. You know the funny
That's
thing is
true.
when I was a kid and have, cereal breakfast, um I would always put like, I don't know, 3, 4 spoons of sugar in it. Um
As you
but
do.
now I do eat a healthier cereals now, but I never put sugar on my cereal at all anymore.
3 or 4 spoons is pretty excessive for Captain Crunch.
I just remember putting a lot of sugar on my stuff, and then so much so that it was like a mud at the bottom of the bowl.
Nice.
Oh
A
yeah.
little
Yeah.
slurry of sugar and milk.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's the best part of the
Mhm.
cereal, the bowl milk at
To
the
be
end.
fair.
Slender works on cereal.
Yeah, no, I think
I
that
had
was the
I had
problem. I don't like milk. Yeah.
the Calvin view of cereal is
Uh-huh.
that if it doesn't change the color of the milk, it's no good.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a Calvin and Hobbes reference. There's another old man reference there for you. Actually, you know what got me into Calvin and Hobbes was my father.
Yep.
He loved Calvin and Hobbes.
Mhm.
It's interesting. But nevertheless, thank you very much, Amy. Alan, would you like to say something? You did a good job today, by the way.
Thank you, Holmes. No problem.
That's fair. That's fair. He never did get Tommy to say Bendejo correctly, though.
Pendejo.
He never said it correctly. Yeah. Although
Did
he
he say it
called
as good as Sean Connery?
no, but
No.
he certainly
No,
pissed off
pendejo.
a lot of Mexicans, and I love the fact that in the scene where he's waving happily and saying "Thank you, Bendejo, bye, Bendejo," all of the Mexicans are so like stereotypical Mexicans, like with the poncho and the big hats and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Eh,
pendejo.
I do have
Well,
that
siento que
piece
tomas
from
foto.
last night. I finished it. We did the Bible last night.
Oh, let me see.
I kept going.
Ah, the pigs, the demons into the pigs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh. Oh, that came out cool.
Poor
I mean,
pigs. What did they ever do?
That was from Babe Part 3,
Mm,
Pig in the Ocean.
Yeah.
pig in the ocean. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true.
Well,
You know, I saw Babe 2, Pig in the City, recently, and that's a dark movie.
is it?
This is from
For,
Charlotte's Demon.
for a more modern kids movie, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Doug
Oh.
says he uses half and half instead of milk. Is much better. I've never tried that.
Yeah, he could just use heavy cream if that's his choice.
I don't even know if we have half and half here. To be honest with you, they don't have a lot of milk
Just get a
choices
heavy
in
cream.
Japan. But anyway, that is great, Alan. So do you want to say something?
Nothing. I'm good.
Sweet.
I'm still working on stuff. It'll all come out. Once it comes out, I'll start showing it off.
Fair enough.
Like
Awesome.
I did a comic book cover for somebody here and a logo for somebody there, but I can't show anything off.
Oh, I see. That's right. Let us know when you can. Of course, you've been working on Atros City, so
Yeah, right now I'm working on the spoiler pages, so I can't show any of those off either.
right. I see. Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Alan. Elrod, what you got?
I've got a pterodactyl, a zimerodactyl, with a cowboy who's going to ride him somewhere. That's what cowboys do. They ride things.
The P is silent.
Maybe that's just how his name is spelled.
Yeah, maybe that's his name. Maybe his name is Perry, short for pterodactyl.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, peridactyl.
Peridactyl.
That's very Mobius.
Yes.
Oh,
He's a peridiatrist.
Of course, dactyl just means working
Mobius
fingers.
is kind of what I grew up on.
Is all dactyl means.
His stuff always comes out in my scribbles.
I love
Did he sing
him.
for Journey, this guy? Peridactyl? Did he sing for Journey?
Yes, Peridactyl was the original lead singer for Journey, I believe.
Yeah, Steve Peridactyl, yeah.
Well, that may have been his brother, Stephen Peridactyl.
One of the
periodontist.
One of the least manly cool men ever, with the probably best male voice of all time.
I don't know, that Filipino guy that sounds exactly like him is pretty good.
He is pretty good, but Steve Perry is epically good, dude. I mean, it's insanely how well his. And then he lost his voice. How that's just like. Yeah, that's
holy
not.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, but that's like
by your definition, the least manliest man with the best male singing voice, wouldn't that have to be Freddie Mercury?
No, because Freddie was much more
Well, he was
masculine
a
than Steve Perry,
barrel-chested
dude.
lad.
Yeah,
Was he?
Freddie's a big old dude and in pretty good shape.
No, he was tiny.
Yeah,
He's
I
He
mean,
tiny.
looks
Yeah.
big,
Steve
but he
is
was
this
like a little man.
scrawny little guy wearing mom jeans. He's just so uncool and unmanly, but that voice forever,
Oh,
dude.
He
that's
rocked
who
that
that lady
mullet
wrestler looks
hard.
like.
He
Steve
does.
Perry.
Yeah. I'm not taking
Rhea
any.
Ripley looks like Steve Perry.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. I'm not
Now
taking
I
anything
cannot
away from
unsee
Freddie
that.
Mercury, though. He's a great singer. Anyway, thank you for that controversy, Elrod. We can always count on you.
Well, they call me a controversialist.
Hmm.
So,
That's what that word means.
What you got, Jerry?
yeah.
Just like we talked about last week, I still have my Indiegogo campaign for M Squad issue number 2, and I did take your suggestions and advice and feedback into account. So there are some changes on the campaign. There's a shorter teaser trailer for you to check out. I managed to fix the add-ons, so if you do want
Nice.
to back the campaign, you can also do an add-on for only $5 to get an additional copy of M Squad number 1 if you missed out on that. So that's going on. Check that out. And then the other thing I did today as well, I went to the comic book store this weekend and I picked up a copy of Fantastic Four number 1. It's a reprint of the original,
Well,
Jack
the
Kirby.
facsimile.
Yeah, but it has a sketch cover. It has a blank sketch cover. So I put up sort of a little poll on my Facebook page with images of, Reed and Sue and Johnny and the Thing and Doctor Doom, and said, let's get some votes. What would you want to see? Which character, the team, or Doctor Doom? And so I'm looking for some votes on that, and I'll be working on that once I get some feedback. So
Awesome.
check it out.
Oh, that might be my sketch cover for next year's charity.
Ooh, there you go. That is cool.
What was Doctor Doom in the first episode of issue?
Yes.
No, I'm
he
looking
was,
here. It's a monster from the Mole Man.
It is. Yeah, it's not Doctor Doom.
Doctor
Yes.
Doom didn't come for like 20. I think he came out in the 20 issues, somewhere in that range.
when they get into the origin stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, the
He's
Fantastic Four initially
young
was
and-
kind of like a horror magazine, really.
Do you think so?
Well,
Oh,
it was the
absolutely.
transition from monster magazines to superhero stuff, right?
Yeah.
It was. It was. Yeah.
Because they'd outlawed monster magazines, I think.
But that's okay. Disney has fixed all of it.
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, the trailer.
I'm sorry, it was issue 5 is when his first appearance was.
Oh, is it?
The
Okay,
new
it
stuff
was.
in the
That's
trailer
earlier
looks
than I
just
thought.
like the stuff in the 2000s.
Oh yeah, no, dude. All these movies Disney's been making are all the modern woke nonsense. They don't go back to the old stories, and if they do, they butcher them.
Well, it wasn't even the wokeness because there was none of that in the trailer. Just like the new footage, outside of their apartment, just looked like Fantastic Four 2 from the 2000s, the Michael Chiklis movie.
Right. Right.
Like shot for shot. I was like, oh, this is weird. It just looks way too much like that one.
Well, the actors are speaking, and that's always the problem, right? But nevertheless,
That's the problem I have with Fantastic Four is everyone's voices don't. Well, the Thing is not gruff.
well,
And
they
I don't
made
care
him.
about Girl
They made
Silver
him gay,
Surfer
dude.
because it's not
Clearly.
Lauren Rad. But Girl Silver Surfer just sounds like a person, where she should sound like a creepy monster, right?
She should.
Isn't that Nova?
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, there was I can't remember her name. Eric will. There was a female Silver Surfer that came out way later, but the introduction
later,
of
yeah.
Galactus and the team is Norrin Rad. That's it. But of course they have to.
I
they
hope
have
they're
to.
using her because Norrin Rad needs his own movie.
I can see
Oh, that
that.
would be nice if he got
That
his
would
own
be
movie.
nice.
That character is so cool.
Yeah.
It is a cool character.
Is this supposed to be? Is it? What's her name? Shalaba?
Shalaba?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's supposed to be Shalaba. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
completely
and
out of sequence, though.
Yeah,
Right.
they're all
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's because it's in a different universe than the regular movies, that it's
And it
okay,
doesn't
and I don't know.
matter if it's
Yeah,
good.
it
It could be
doesn't.
the best movie ever, and it's never going to have a sequel because you're just going to dump them into the big MCU crap.
Right.
No,
No,
and
that's
I have a
true.
problem with
That's
the
what I.
chick
That's
that's
what I
doing
hated
it.
about. I hated about Captain America, the first Avenger. It's like I love that movie, but it's like, oh, he'll never get to punch any Nazis or do any cool World War II stuff because now he has to go to the future and fight aliens.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the potential was taken away because you got to put it in the bigger universe crap.
Well, in the beginning of Ultron, they gave him a little bit of that. Avengers Ultron, right? He had a little bit
Oh,
of
with
that.
Hydra.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
you're right. No, that's definitely true. Well, anyway,
Has
thank you
anyone
very.
watched Ozarks?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girl that's in Ozark is playing the Silver Surfer, and she has the
Yeah.
hickiest accent in the Ozark show. That's all I
In Ozark,
see when I see her. Yeah, Ruth. She's Ruth in
she's from
Ozark.
like England or something, man. She doesn't sound like that at all. She really is a
No,
great
no, but
actress.
I can't see her face without hearing Ruth's voice.
I don't know fuck about shit.
Well,
You
I
know shit
mean,
Oh,
about
she's
fuck,
doing like
right?
the horrible Southern accent that every British person does.
well,
Mhm.
yeah, but I mean, the thing with it is, if they actually, instead of worrying
Oh,
about their message and made an actual good movie, it will
Mhm.
succeed. I mean, that's kind of the end of it.
It's
But
true.
the problem is they always seem to be preoccupied with other things. But nevertheless,
Mhm.
thank you all for coming in. Do appreciate it. And thank you very much for coming in, Jerry. It's nice to see you again, dude. And I'm glad you took on those the advice we gave you, because we've been doing this a really long time. And if you go back to some of the earlier episodes of the show, we actually broke it down and went into actual research and demographics and ratio and all that kind of stuff on how to do crowdfunding. We got some good videos on that. So it's not just opinion; it's actually a researched opinion. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No, I appreciate it. I mean, as an artist, if you can't take critique and then act on it, then you're never going to get any better. So,
True. No, and it's just
that's my
about
opinion.
making money and marketing anyway. But like I said, there's a lot of resource over here. You should take advantage of it. But
Absolutely.
thank you all for coming in, and we're going to be doing the Bible next week. That should be a lot of fun. Jeff, dude, take us out of here.